Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money, and that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on an even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nasi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money, and that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on an even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nasi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money, and that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on an even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nasi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money. And that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nassi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really, really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money. And that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nassi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really, really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money. And that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nassi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naki Baslam will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Nakib's coming back. Eamon Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Iman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away. And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really, really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks. Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper
and the race is underway. We're on board with Alistair Young. He's got off to a decent start. It's Mikko Nassi who will take the lead into the first corner.
Mika Hakimi is going down the inside of Inigo Anton. Oh no, that's Ayman. No, that is Hakimi. So what happened to Ayman? Ayman dropped back, and Mika's got past Ayman and had a look at Anton, but wasn't able to make it through.
We do have team managers on board with both of the drivers. I'm sure at some stage, team manager for RSG as Ayman Hakim goes past Mika Hakimi, who just seemed to give way, and the space suddenly opened up for Ayman Hakim. Arif has got a drive-through penalty. Ayman Hakim tries to go on the inside round the hairpin. Ayman, there's contact with Nakib. Nakib accelerates away. 3 minutes to go. Ayman, oh, there's an expletive deleted in the corner there.
Wow, so they gave each other just room, but they had some contact. And look at that. Oh, Ayman must have a puncture. He's got a puncture. Oh no, disaster for the Malaysian.
15-minute race. Nassi still leads. Nakib Aslan, though, has been on his tailgate right the way through from the very first corner. You've got to hold off. This will be the last lap. 1:18 on the clock as Nakib makes a move on the outside. Nassi defends once again. Nakib accelerates. Nassi defends. Nakib, contact between the two. Nakib Aslan spins off. Mikko Nassi is able to hold on to P1. They go down here. It is a race for the line. It will be the end of the race. Hakimi makes a move, goes on the outside. Nassi defends. Nassi is in the lead. Inigo Anton goes through into P2. As they come through, it's going to be Mikko Nassi. Inigo Anton ahead of Mika Hakimi for 1, 2 and 3. Ayman Hakim is the man in pole position. And the race has really opened up there. Mikko Nassi and Kalen Chin are in a big group there. Alistair Young scored out as well, but exactly as you called it, Ayman Hakim has got off to a terrific start.
Oh, he's made a mistake and he's allowing Mikko Nassi to come back down the inside. Will Albert try and defend the position? Yeah, he will. And there's contact.
Dylan Tan is taken out. Dylan Tan slows down and Nassi goes up into P2. Mikko Nassi into P2. Mika Hakimi squeezed out of P3. Contact between Mika Hakimi and Dylan Tan. Oh, Dylan is really, really in the wars. That's 2 big lots of contact for Dylan Tan. Hakimi goes through, but Dylan Tan then loses place. Who was that disappeared? That was Mika Hakimi. Hakimi has crashed out, and Dylan Tan has got himself back up into P6. Joaquim Garrido and Kalen Chin come together. A big, big smack there. Nakib Aslan might benefit. Joaquim Garrido currently in P5. Kalen Chin is in P4. Real battle down for the lower places at the moment. As he crosses the line, Ayman Hakim picks up maximum points in race number 2. 25 for him. Nakib Aslan will come through in P2. Mikko Nassi will come home in P3. 15-minute sprint race. There's a lot of chaos as they come into corner number 1. Kalen Chin gets himself up into P7, but it's Ayman Hakim who has got off to a good start. So congested in there, Alex, but no contact, remarkably.
Wow, I can't believe that everyone was so well behaved as they went through that. But look, that Ayman managed to get back into the first position. I thought Nakib got him at turn 1, but great job by Ayman to get back into the lead. Ayman's run wide, and that's allowed Nakib to get back at him.
Nakib in the green has got into the lead. Inigo was in P7. Now he's been overtaken by both Yevon David and Colin Lee. And he spins away, Inigo Anton, and spins out of contention in race number 1 as we approach or just go past the 5-minute mark. And Inigo is having all kinds of problems. Francis Angelo Gonzalez and Alistair Young go past him. Back up at the front, Ayman Hakim goes on the inside. Nakib defends. Ayman Hakim has retaken the lead. Oh, is Nakib able just to defend? Yes, Ayman Hakim. What a brave maneuver. It's RSG 1 and 2. Nakib Aslan has got to make a move now. Nakib goes around the outside. Mika defends. Nakib can't get there. Mika holds on to P2. Ayman Hakim it is who holds on to P1 as they come into the final corner. Ayman Hakim will make it back-to-back wings. A big smile Mika holds on from. Nakib Aslan Malaysia 1, 2 and 3 and 4 as Troy Ayman has got ahead of Nico Nassi. It's a decent start for Ayman Hakim, the championship leader. Hold on to there, and Inigo Anton is the man who was on pole position, taking a steady lead from Alistair Young, Colin Lead and Joaquim Garrido.
Yeah, let's go back to Hakim. Hakim going down the inside of Nico Nassi. Nico Nassi, is he going to let him through? He's letting him through, surprisingly. Again, not defending. Still a bit surprising because this is Nico Nassi. I would expect him to be defending a bit more, but that's the choice he's made. He's decided to let the faster cars through at the moment.
So Inigo Anton feeling the pressure of Naqib Aslan. P3 for Naqib in race number 1. Race won by Ayman Hakim, who's 2 seconds down here. But let's see how Inigo responds to the pressure. We'll just look back from Inigo. That's the view that he gets of the Stratos Motorsport of Naqib Aslan.
He's got the DRS, and well, I think Anton's got running too much downforce because the Stratos car just went by him so easily, even with the DRS. That was too fast. So Inigo Anton running a lot of downforce. That means he's going to be very vulnerable down the straights.
So Inigo, then Inigo loses it. Oh, little shake of the head from Inigo Anton. He loses so much time. He will drop down to P7, P8.
Oh dear.
Inigo, nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like a connection issue now because he's just right off the track.
Nico Nassi barged out of the way. Big contact there from Kalen Chin. That was a big collision. And for once, Kalen's front nose stays intact. But surely there will have been damage on both cars. Oh, who's gone off?
What's that?
That was
Ayman Hakim.
Ayman Hakim has lost a lot of time.
He went off.
Hakim went off the track. Ayman completely got it wrong and has lost 2 places. Kalen and Mika have gone past Ayman Hakim. 2 long straights to go now. This is going to be a maximum.
Oh, he's got a problem. He's got a puncture. He's got a puncture on the last lap of the race.
And Mika Hakimi is closing in, and so is Kalen Chin. And despite a puncture, Naqib Aslan will take P1 from Mika Hakimi ahead of Nico Nassi and Kalen Chin. He hobbles in P4 ahead of Troy Ayman. Nassi looks like he's got up to a solid start. Behind him, there's an awful lot of collision. Incredible amount of contact behind. Naqib Aslan has got himself ahead. Alistair, he was obviously caught up in that massive crash. He has dropped from P4 down to P11, Alex.
Okay, dives down the inside. But can Inigo Anton hang on around the outside? No, he doesn't. He gives way. Great move by Nico Nassi.
Nico Nassi on board with him as he gets into P2. He's got a view as Nassi goes on the inside, and Nassi has got the lead. Oh, what a cheeky maneuver from Nico Nassi.
Anton's going to try into turn 14. He's got to try. He can try and go on the outside because if he gets this right, and he does. Nice move on the outside, but Naqib's coming back.
Naqib is able to hold on. Can he defend into the right-hand corner? Contact as Anton spins off again. Naqib Aslan kept his nerve, and Naqib will come into P2. Nico Nassi takes the victory. Ayman Hakim behind him, and Troy Ayman also involved. Inigo Anton has got himself up into a decent position as well, going wide. Joaquim Garrido loses out, and the man leading is Yevon David. Inigo Anton has gone into P2, and Ayman Hakim chases into P3. Inigo Anton has taken the lead. Inigo, there must have been a mistake from Yevon David because he's dropped into P2. He's trying to compete there with Ayman Hakim. But yeah, Ayman Hakim is now up into P2. Got Yevon David, Naqib Aslan and Troy Ayman as Yevon is then overtaken by Nico Nassi. Yeah. Nico Nassi, the winner of race number 1. But Yevon on that long straight just pulls away from Nico. Nico then decides to leave the braking lane. Joaquim Garrido comes inside on poor old Yevon David, who is going backwards at a rate of knots. And then Nassi has a look around the outside. Let's get on board with Nico Nassi. And Nico Nassi has gone through, and that is Naqib Aslan, who is just barged out of the way. Nico Nassi got himself up into P4, Alex. As Nassi goes through another place. And Naqib tries to get there as well. Nico Nassi has decided that he is not going to well, he's chasing a perfect weekend. fastest lap and a win in race 1. And now from P12 to P3, Nasi is lapping. That was a 1:27.8, which is 4/10 quicker than anybody else.
Wow, so the Finnish driver, Mikko Nasi, doing a really, really good, another fast spin.
Can he make a move this time on Joaquim Garrido? Goes down the inside. Hakimi this time, I think, is going to hold on, Alex, or will he? Look at Garrido. Garrido manages to squeeze out Hakimi. This is the battle for P6. Garrido is still holding on. Incredible stuff from Joaquim Garrido. Hakimi asks more questions. Still 18 minutes to go. No change up at the front.
Yeah, so this is a great battle. Garrido's in all the... Oh, Hakimi all the way around the outside. Perfectly done. And now he has the inside for the next corner. Wow, that was a good move.
So Mikko Nasi is now back in the race lead, and Inigo Anton, that is the gap that he has got to close down. 2.5 seconds. Mikko Nasi picks a back-to-back wins. We get the good finger from Mikko Nasi as the Singapore-based Finn takes his second victory. Nakib has got off to a solid start. Mikko Nasi has been left behind. But look at the start made by Troy Iman. And Troy Iman, the Stratos Scuderia driver, well, he had the lead as Nasi is caught by Kalen Chin. And Kalen Chin drops down 4, 5, 6 places.
Wow, so there was contact between Nasi and Kalen Chin. Oh, Troy Iman's had a moment. Oh, now Nasi's going to try and go back into second position.
P3, Mikko Nasi is trying to make a move there on Troy Iman. Tries to go round the outside on Toza. Has he got the drag? He has. You cannot overtake there. That's sensational.
Wow. Oh, Mehmet Zini's had an issue. He slowed right down. Oh.
So that's Alistair. Was it Alistair Young, I think? So Alistair's having a problem. Zini on his debut is having a problem. So Naki Baslan must have made a mistake, I suspect. Front 5 remain the same. Front 6 remain the same. Mikko Nasi getting very close. Goes round the outside once again. Mikko, he did that last lap and he's done it again. Nasi makes the maneuver around the outside, and Nakib, a little bit of contact, and Nakib showed real streetcraft there. And Nakib has retained first position. Tosa corner belongs to Mikko Nasi. He's gone on the inside. 4 overtakes on that same corner. That is insane. Mikko Nasi looking for 3 straight wins. Mikko Nasi comes through and will take the victory ahead of Naki Baslam. Hakimi, another podium. And we are underway. So Arif Azmi is the man who's taken the lead. Further down, real problems, but Arif Azmi has got off to a stormer. Kalen Chin in second, Bensi currently in third. This is the championship leader and the winner of race number 1. He is closing on the back of Ayman Akim Tadashi. Goes on the inside, and he takes 2 this time, Nasi. Phenomenal. Oh, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Not quite phenomenal. Not bad. He's got 1, though, as Nasi gets on the inside of Ben Seek. Ben Seek drops down to P5. Nasi's up to 4. Tadashi currently in P3. Arif Azmi and Kalen Chin way in the lead.
He's going to look around the outside of Ayman Akim, but Akim's got the inside for turn 1. But Mikko Nasi goes around the outside. Great move.
Ben Seek and Naki Baslan are there. Ben is trying to just hold on, learn from this experience. But Naki goes on the inside, overtakes at that position. That's insane.
I think Ben was just trying to let him through.
This is the long straight. He is within fighting range. DRS.
Yeah, DRS now. He goes down the outside. Should have the DRS. Should be able to hold the line. But will Kalen try and outbrake him to turn 1? They both break super late. And nicely done. Nasi round the outside again.
Mikko Nasi takes the lead. Nasi has won the last 3 races of this inaugural season of the E1 Championship. Is he able to make it a wonderful 4? Will he dive in this time? Nasi goes into the pits.
He goes in the pits, and that's perfect timing because he did not get troubled by the back marker, so good decision by Nasi.
Naki Baslam will go ahead of Kalen Chin, and Nakib is still able to hold on that 7-second differential with Mikko Nasi. as we look at Nasi. Nasi will have the DRS on Arif Azmi. Poor old Arif has been good, he stayed out, but the hard compound is about to be swallowed up. Or is it? Yes, it is.
Ooh,
Contact? Naughty?
There was contact.
Naughty Miko?
Kalen Chin, he's going to defend the inside. He's going to make it a bit harder. But Kalen's got to break super late if he's going to hold it. But no, again, make it easy. And Miko Nasi is straight through. He struggles to quite match the Stratus Motorsport cars. But he's looking down the inside. He's going to try. Yes, he does. He gets it. Nicely done.
Rivazza with 4 minutes to go. Miko Nasi has won 3 races in a row. This is to make it 4, and not only Nasi, Kalen Chin is right on the back of Nakib, and Nakib is under threat. Nakib on the hard compound tyres. He took the gamble. It was a good gamble, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay off. Ben Seek, who started on pole, is down in P18, Alex. It's been a tough time for Ben Seek. This is now 4 wins in a row. Nasi, left of your screen, blows out the air. Yep, I've done that. Big thumbs up. Kalen Chin, not disappointed with second at all. Thrilled to bits with P2 is Kalen Chin. And Inigo gets off to a rock-solid start. Behind them, Miko Nasi, the championship lead in P4, holds on to P4. It's all pretty safe through the first corner. Nakib leads and Miko Nasi is up into P2 from 4 to 2 on the first corner. That's stellar stuff from the Finbay Singaporean.
You always see that with him. He races better than he qualifies. Oh, but oof. No, he's off the track. He's managed to recover. He just has to watch out for track limits. Has he got any damage there? That's the question to consider.
Need to go to the front where Miko Nasi is making a move on Nakib Aslan. And Miko Nasi has taken the lead for the first time. 6 minutes into the race, and Nasi implemented the DRS. They go thrilling past the Astro sign, and Nasi, the championship leader, is now the race leader at Spa.
And they're more than happy to do it. Oh, and Inigo Anton, though, fires his way past Yevon David.
Inigo Anton, utilising the DRS, is able to move back into the top 4.
And Nakib is definitely getting closer. And there he is. He's going to use the DRS. Is he going to go to the inside? Yes, he's going to go to the inside. Is he going to go down the inside, though? He's not close enough at the moment.
Oh, what's happened there with Miko? A little defensive manoeuvre there. Really shaking Nakib off the hunt. Miko Nasi has gone out of the race. He has disappeared off the server.
He would have finished in the top 3.
You can see somebody is slowing right down. Ayman Hakim in real problems, Ayman Hakim.
He's just had a spin, obviously. Oh, disaster. Maybe he's got a puncher even. He looks like he's going really slow. Something's happened. Oh, disaster. He was our race championship leader earlier on. He's won twice as well.
3rd win of the season. Nakib Aslan takes it. Troy Ayman in 2nd. Inigo Anton comes through in 3rd place. We are underway. Ben Seek is off to a sluggish start. I can tell you who's off to a really quick start, though, is Nakib Aslan. Nakib, oh, and there's so much congestion around La Source. I'd be amazed that everyone's escaped from that, but they have. And Nakib is there, and Nakib is looking around the inside, and he's got himself up into the top 6, Alex. And Nasi from P21 up to P11 inside half a lap.
Look at that train of cars all the way building. Oh, and someone spins.
That is Troy Ayman. Troy Ayman, who was in 3rd place in race, 2nd place in race 1, has spun out. Now, where is Troy? He is right the way down to P17 and going backwards.
Oh, disaster for Troy.
Ayman Hakim has got ahead of Joaquim Garrido. Ayman Hazik and Miko Nasi, Alex, is now up into P7, because that was Ayman Hazik that he's just taken.
Yeah, I think he just got benefited from an Ayman spin there.
Hakimi is under pressure from Yevon David on the inside. Yevon, and Nakib has to be wary. He doesn't care to get caught up in Yevon slowing down.
That was a nice move by Yevon, trying to go on the outside, and he's going to try it again here at turn 10. And looks like he's going to hang around the outside, not able to quite yet, and Mika holds onto the lead for now.
Well, Miko has gone. Yevon's made a mistake. Nakib Aslan is up into P2. All of a sudden, you can't afford to make a mistake with Nakib just lurking on your tail.
Yevon David made it through. went round the outside, I think, at turn 10 and has gone through into the lead. And now Mika Hakimi has Nakib all over the back of him. Yevan David's so determined, isn't he?
Nakib Aslan is up to P2. That's Mika Hakimi. He's just taken. Hakimi will have DRS though. And oh, you can't overtake there, but you can. You're not meant to overtake there. That's a rouge. Show some respect, fella. The two men in blue, Mika Hakimi and Ayman Hakim. Hakim, he's just not able to get past him, or Willie on the DRS. Rolls into P3, out in the countryside down the Kemmel Straight. Ayman Hakim Tadashi in 3. Yevan David politely lets Nakib Aslan take back-to-back victories. It's a win double for Nakib Aslan. Yevan is thrilled to bits with his second place. It's a Stratos Motorsports 1-2. Team RSG 3 and 4. Ayman Hakim ahead of Mika Hakimi. Nassi is off to a bit of a flyer. He's picked up 1 place, then 2 places, but then he's caught up in traffic, and Nakib Aslan has got away nice and smooth while everybody around him is playing dodgem cards with each other. But terrific stuff from Nakib. Kalen Chin tries to come around the outside of Tadashi and gets on the inside, so Kalen Chin has helped himself to P2. Mikko Nassi only P7. This is where he qualified, and Josh Berwin is alongside him, as is Mika Hakimi and Inigo Anton and Alvin Yak. So there's a 5-man battle there for P7. In the meantime, the battle behind them, Tadashi goes on the outside of Kalen Chin. Kalen holds him off. Tadashi has the inside line, and Tadashi just cannot hold on. Kalen doing a great job.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that despite being nicked at the start by Alistair as well, actually, he made his way back up to second. But right now, Ayman Hakim really pushing it onto the inside, coming through Brooklands, and he gets him. They've been swapping positions all around for the last couple of laps we saw.
Miko is having a torrid time because he's down in P10 ammo, and this is not good for his championship hopes. Nakib Aslan into the pits. It's a huge, huge gamble for Nakib. So Ayman Hakim, he decided on the hard compounds. What a gamble from Nakib, but clearly he was worried that even with 5 minutes to go, let's go back to Nakib because he's closed there on Troy Ayman. Nakib is now up into P4. The lead is 3.5 seconds over Kalen Chin, and there is the victory for Ayman Hakim Tadashi. 25 points for the Malaysian. Kalen Chin will come through in P2. Big smile from the teenage Australian in car number 66. Nakib Aslan is in P9. Oh, there's a crash right at the back. Even Van Tagiato went off, but Nakib Aslan is then caught up in some real aggro going on. This time, halfway through the first lap, he's held on to that lead. Good stuff by the New Zealander.
But for how long? And then he goes, Mikko Nassi goes onto the inside through Stowe, and he made it stick. That was not without DRS, of course.
So Anton is really, really under pressure from Yevan David. Yevan in the green Stratos car goes past the Filipino. Nakib is just preparing to make the maneuver.
Yeah, this is a clash of the titans here, first and second, and Nassi didn't even put up much of a fight. I think he knows that so far right now, he doesn't have the need to push too hard.
As Leona just loses to Mohamed Seely, who's the young Singaporean who's made a bit of an impact in ERacing GP, and Leona does a drifting for us. Wrong source, Leona. And looks good, but not here, please.
I think the car is actually quite terminal because the car is actually going quite slow right now.
Nakib Aslan has gone into the drive-through. He's taken his penalty, and it means that he has lost his place in P2 to Ayman Hakim. So Tadashi this time goes on the inside as Mikko Nassi is defending for all he is worth. Looks pretty cool. Bottom right of the screen. Great scrap this for P1.
And he goes around the outside here with DRS at Brooklands. Does he make it stick? No, he doesn't. Nassi shuts the door, but Ayman holds firm. He goes around the outside, and he takes the lead here from Lovefield. Brilliant piece of driving from both drivers. But it's Ayman Hakim who takes the lead here in the second race, and he's well on his way to actually claim the double at Silverstone.
This is almost a victory lap here for Ayman Hakim Tadashi. Look at that, the big smile. He's got the maximum points. He's also got the bonus of 2 points for the fastest lap. 15-minute race. Nakib in the green has got off to a really good start, and Nakib Aslan goes down that Road America straight, and Nakib Aslan, I think, may well be turning in P1. Inigo trying to hold him off, but Nakib Aslan off to the absolute perfect start. Well cost him. Oh, and Ayman smashes out on the first lap, and the double champion last week reverses back, but that might be his race over. Look at the train of cars behind Inigo. He's got Kalen Chin in the black, Troy Ayman in the green, Arif also in the green, and Mika Hakimi and Alistair Young not too far away from them.
Now he's up to third. Kalen's right off. Oh, Mika's off. And that's, I think, Kalen as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's Kalen. So Kalen has been involved with a kerfuffle there with Mika Hakimi coming out to turn 6. And Mika looks like he's badly damaged as into the barriers he goes.
Miko tries to go around the outside. There is contact. He's sent sideways. And Miko Nasi may well have lost the championship with that particular move. The race time is over, and he, when he crosses the start-finish line, will pick up the 25 points that will increase his lead at the top. A little fist pump from Nakib Aslan. We will be underway. Miko Nasi gets off to a super start, goes past Francis Angelo Gonzalez, takes Josh Perwin and Chernlu with him, and Kalen Chin.
Now he's, who's that making a move on the inside?
Young. Alistair is having a real go. Alistair moving into the top 3 and knocking everybody outside, flexing those 18-year-old muscles. From P12, already half a lap in, Nakib Aslan has got himself up into P7 and is in the midst of maybe making his way up through that group ahead of him. Back up to the top, and I can tell you, Alistair is going backwards. He has lost P2 to Arif Azmi and P3 to Kalen Chin. Miko currently in P1. Fascinating to see where the Singaporean-based Finn goes in. Right there he is. He goes into the pits now. Nakib is getting a pull from Yevon David, and I suspect on this long Road America straight, it is going to be Nakib Aslan just moving into the lead, serenely so.
Alistair now, trying to take through the king. It's not on there. He has the inside line coming through Canada corner, and he does make it stick just about. He's just alongside him. Ben's not going to make it easy for him, but no, Ben has to concede.
Nakib Aslan, as he comes over the start-finish line, Nakib Aslan has got the victory. A double for Nakib. Yevon David second, Troy Ayman ahead of Mika Hakimi for P3. 15-minute sprint race is on. It's a solid start, but it's Kalen Chinamo who has got into the lead as Nasi clashes with Tadashi. 3 abreast. Tadashi goes around the outside. Nasi holds him off this time. Tadashi has another go, and I think Ayman Hakim Tadashi. There's contact. There is contact, and Miko Nasi. Nakib is being aggressive.
This is the most intense final lap of the entire season.
Tadashi loves the fact that Miko Nasi is battling hard. Miko Nasi will pick up 40 points for P2 because Nakib Aslan is down in P6. Ayman Hakim takes the victory. Big smile from Tadashi as we are underway, and it's a good start from Arif Azmi. Nakib Aslan off to a decent start as well. He's got himself up into P6, and there's a crash. Alif Hamilton spins out. Miko Nasi currently in P9. He's got Yevon David just ahead of him. Miko must win and hope Nakib finishes, well, more than 40 points down on him, so that's about P8 or 9. 26 minutes still to race. Inigo! Contact with Arif, and Inigo spins! Arif spins, and Nakib hits him! What's happened to Nakib Aslan? Nakib! He's got away with it, but how much contact? How much damage for Nakib? Kalen tries to go around the outside. There's no room at this circuit. Oh, yes, there is. There is now. Oh, Troy Ayman! You're not meant to laugh, Kalen. It's bad.
As Ayman goes around the inside through the chase. Does he get the move done? Yes, he does. Extremely late braking there. Coming through the chase, and he takes second place. That is second place confirmed for Ayman now.
Wrong. No, don't reverse, Whelan. Wrong way. Whelan!
Wait, luckily he has out of the way. It's not the car,
Whelan!
Unfortunately for him, these cars just don't do 3
3-point turns in the
Yep.
middle of a race.
Yep, that's the
Banging
first.
front and back. There's a highlight for you. And we are about to crown our first Season 0 E1 champion, race winner of race 2 and E1 champion, Naqib Aslan.
Hello and welcome to the very first E1 Championship, coming to you live on the EGT network.
We're running championships all throughout Asia Pacific, based from here in Malaysia. We need a premier championship with proper production, proper entry fees and prize money, and that's what E1 Championship is.
15-minute race is underway.
We had a really targeted teams. It allows people in the real life teams and the sim racing teams to compete on an even footing, and they can be competitive against each other.
There's no room at this circuit. Miko Nasi barged out of the way.
E1 Championship really levels the playing field.
We've made a great start on ERacing. We've given the drivers respect. It's an entertaining spectacle.
And despite a puncture, Naqib Aslan will take P1.
Season 0, we went for maximum excitement.
So close head-to-head on different tracks.
Naqib's coming back.
Ayman Hakim goes on the inside. Look at the start made by Troy Ayman.
Lots of overtaking.
No, he doesn't. He gives away.
And he takes 2 this time.
The level of racing was really, really high.
It's a terrific sporting competition.
We're already seen as a premier E-Racing Championship in the region.
Season 1 just coming, we've got more teams.
New levels of competition.
I am happy to be back in Season 1.
Hopefully, me and our team finish stronger and higher.
Just gonna focus on ourselves. I'll definitely be doing things a lot more differently. Don't expect me to slow down.
Even more new tracks on this 8-race calendar.
We're going to go to a bit more tighter and twistier tracks, Zandvoort, Watkins Glen.
This is going to be much more competitive.
This is just the beginning. It's going to get better and better.
Hello and welcome to a brand new season of the E1 Championship. I hope you've all had a good break and are ready for another action-packed season of racing in the Premier Sim Racing Tournament. We're here for the E1 Championship Season 1. I'm Daniel Woodruff and with me is Alex Young, the race director of the E1 Championship and founder of Axel Sports. Also with us in the studio tonight is Des Corkill, who will be commentating through the different races. Now, last season we crowned our very first champion of the E1 Championship, Naqib Aslan of Stardust Motorsports. He was crowned champion at the Bathurst circuit in Australia. It was a crazy race, and we've had some incredible racing in the last season. Let's take a look at those highlights from the last time we were on track.
Ayman, there's contact with Naqib. Naqib accelerates away. And despite a puncture, Naqib Aslan will take P1. Naqib tries to go around the outside and does! His 3rd win of the season. Naqib Aslan has got the victory. A double for Naqib. Naqib is being aggressive. Contact with Arif and Ego spins. Arif spins and Naqib hits him. What's happened to Naqib Aslan? Naqib, oh, he's got away with it. Our first Season 0 E1 champion, Naqib Aslan.
And I think you guys can tell from the tone of Des's voice there in the commentary that Season 0 of the E1 Championship was action-packed, and we're going to have even more of that action here at Season 1 because we have 28 drivers, 14 teams, 11 different countries being represented. So we're going to have new formats as well throughout the season. But for all of you watching for the first time, Alex, why don't you give us a quick refresher as to what the E1 Championship is all about?
Well, we've seen the explosion of e-racing across the whole continent, Asia Pacific, and E1 Championship, it started last year. It's already been seen as the premier e-racing competition in the region, and we've seen it. I mean, the racing's been fantastic. We've got really top teams, and it's been doubly confirmed by now, heading into first season, Season 1. We got a full grid.
Now, it wasn't just the drivers that made the racing exciting in Season 0. It was also the range of tracks that we had. And I know for sure that Alex's favorite track from the last season was Bathurst. It was mine as well. I'm not sure if it was the driver's favorite because it was a lot of carnage. And we'll be walking you through all the different tracks we have this season as well. Of course, 8 different rounds. But first, let's meet some of the drivers that'll be joining us on the grid for tonight.
Okay, so we have last season's champion, Stratos Motorsports, with the driving champion, Naqib Aslan. He's now joined by Muhammad Ibrahim from India. This is going to be a super strong pairing.
A strong partnership team, SFHS. Nat Sirigaya from Thailand. Look out for the 29-year-old. He's alongside Mikko Nasi, the Finn, based in Singapore.
And then coming up, we have RSG, one of the biggest esports teams in the region, and they came so close to winning the championship. Ayman Hakim finished runner-up in the championship, and he's coupled again with Mika Hakimi, who came so close to winning a race, always at the front.
Stratos second team, Scuderia. They're good enough and young enough to be a boy band. Troy Ayman, 17 years of age, and Arif Azmi, both from Malaysia, but they can race as well as they can sing.
And then we have GT Radio Eurasia, the team from Philippines with an all-Filipino lineup. Inigo Anton had 3 pole positions in Season 0, was not able to convert that into any race wins. He'll be looking to rectify that this weekend.
Black Wolf Racing show that it's not just about the young kids. The old man is Daniel Ryan Oy, 46 years young. He's alongside teenager Kaylan Chin from Australia.
And then we have the fun team from Brunei, I1 Racing, with Benjamin Seek and Lance Lau. Lance Lau just joining us for this season. These guys are often wearing Super Mario outfits, so a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing JMX Phantom from Indonesia. Presley Martono, a real racer, joined by the very, very fast sim racer Fadli Rahmat. These could be outside contenders, you know.
Absolutely. And of course, then we got Black Arts Racing, one of the most successful real-life race teams in Asia. They were the Asian F3 champion last year, and they're going for the first foray into sim racing with Josh Perwin and Alistair Young.
Further north, we've got a real challenger from Z Challenger team, Jack Ding Chung from Hong Kong and Jay Yang from Taiwan. Look out again. We've got a strong lineup for you in Season 1.
Yeah, and of course, let's not forget Team Flash, arguably the biggest esports team in Southeast Asia. And look at that lineup. They got Muhammad Alif, who's a triple Global Edition champion, and he's teamed up with his brother, Muhammad Tasbi.
Delighted to welcome from Vietnam the SUM team, which is Long Le Huang Vinh and Hui Ho Jia Hui. We'll see how they get on with things as this season progresses.
A bit further back then, of course, we've got Team EGG. This is our celebrity team, shall I say, our celebrity couple, Whelan Choi and Leona Chin. They are streaming, so watch out for them. They're always a bunch of laughs and improving all the time.
Another strong team, the ERacing GP team, Nabil Aslan, brother of Naqib, the defending champion, alongside Francis Angelo Gonzalez. Again, a good outside bet.
And there we have it, 28 drivers joining us on the grid tonight. There's going to be crazy action up and down the field. With the grid that big, you're bound to have crazy racing from the front all the way to the back. Now, a lot of the drivers have been returning from Season 0 to Season 1. Alex, do you think that the drivers will be able to make the same mark this time around?
Well, of course, I suppose you're talking about the top 3, weren't we?
Yeah.
Naqib and Mikko and, of course, Ayman Hakim. They were very good last season. And, of course, they're going to be right at the front again. But it's going to be so much harder for them. But the competition is just tough. You've got Alif there, got 2 super quick Hong Kong drivers, 2 drivers from Indonesia. Sirigaya from Thailand is super quick, especially GT Sport. I think I can't call it. It's going to be too close.
Well, you can't talk about Season 0 without talking about our top 3. Let's see what they got up to last season.
Mikko Nasi down the inside.
Nasi takes the lead. Mikko Nasi barged out of the way. Nasi goes on the inside and Nasi has got the lead. From P12 to P3, Mikko Nasi, 4 wins in a row. Tadashi goes on the inside and he takes 2 this time.
Ayman holds firm. He goes around the outside. It's Ayman Hakim who takes the lead.
Tadashi, there's contact. Tadashi lead. And there is the victory for Ayman Hakim Tadashi. Ayman, there's contact with Naqib. Naqib accelerates away. Can he defend into the right-hand corner? Contact. Naqib tries to go around the outside and does. Naqib is being aggressive. Our first E1 champion, Naqib Aslan.
And there we have it, Naqib Aslan of Stratos Motorsport crowned the champion of Season 0. Alex, He's been practicing a lot in go-karts. He's been racing touring cars as well.
Wow.
He's been putting in a lot of effort into season 1. Is he going to do the same?
He has, but like you just said, he was just picked up by Toyota for the Works Factory Rookie Program. So showing that these sim drivers can make it in real life. So that's pretty special indeed. He has been focusing on E1. He wants to still, even though he is doing real life driving now, he wants to still retain his title.
And there's E1 turning virtual into reality. Des, you had your eyes on Ayman Hakim as well. Is he going to repeat that performance this season as well?
Yeah, they call him Tadashi. He's a cartoon fanatic, an anime fanatic. But I tell you what, he's no cartoon character. He had 5 race wins last season, on the podium 3 of the times. If he can keep that kind of consistency, he could well be in the leaderboard come the end of the season.
Up next, let's take a look at some of the young drivers we had on the grid in Season 0.
Inigo Anton has got himself up into a decent position as Joaquim Garrido loses out. Inigo Anton has gone into P2.
He can try and go on the outside, because if he gets this right, and he does.
Inigo Anton is the man who was on pole position. He's gone on the inside. Kalen Chin has managed to manipulate his way through. Kalen Chin tries to come around the outside of Tadashi and gets on the inside. Kalen tries to go around the outside. There's no room at this circuit, but it's Kalen Chinamo who has got into the lead. Yevon in the green Stratos car goes past the Filipino.
Yevon David made it through. Went around the outside, I think.
Joaquim Garrido comes inside on poor old Yevon, who is going backwards at a rate of knots.
And there we have it, the young drivers. I mean, they're in their early teens as well, really showing the slightly older drivers how it's done. But Alex, Yevon David was the youngest driver on the grid, 13 years old, really showing them how it's done.
Yeah, he's a young driver. He's was based in Singapore. He's from Sri Lanka, of course. And now Yevon is a bit of a superstar. He's actually karting in Europe right now. He's trying to go all the way to Formula 1. But he saw the importance of this, because I mean, when you race against top quality competition in this sort of competition like the E1 Championship, it really puts you well into real life. And you know, he's going to try and go all the way, and he's definitely got the talent to do so.
And 2 drivers that are returning to the grid in Season 1, we've got Kalen Chin and Inigo Anton. Kalen really putting in a strong performance towards the end of the season in Season 0, Des. Do you think he can pull it together throughout all of Season 1?
Yeah, you make a great call there. It took him half a season to get used to it. I'm not quite sure why, because he's very used to RaceRoom, but it was only in the last 3 or 4 races of the campaign that he came good. Again, it's all about consistency for Kalen. 15 years of age, we're already calling him experienced. But I'm really keen to see how Inigo Anton develops, because Inigo, out of the Philippines, he's part of a good family, a racing family over in the Philippines, and he's made that transference from real racing onto the simulator, and he can be quick. I think he had 3 podiums last year, and again, if he improves, this could be competitive.
So we've had a lot of young and fast and furious drivers in Season 0. They're returning for Season 1, but also returning to Season 1 are our celebrity drivers. Let's see what they got up to last season.
Oh, wrong, no, don't reverse, Whelan. Wrong way,
Whelan.
Whelan.
Wait, luckily you guys are away. It's not a car,
Whelan.
Unfortunately for him, these cars just don't do 2, 3
3-point turns in the middle of a race.
Yep, that's
banging
the first.
front and back. There's a highlight for you. A bit of an impact in ERacing GP, and Leona does a drifting for us. Wrong source, Leona.
And
looks good, but not here, please.
I think the car is actually quite terminal, because the car is actually going quite slow right now.
We saw there Leona Chin, the drift queen, doing a little bit of drifting in Season 0. I'm sure she's going to want to cut down on that a little bit. What kind of preparation do you think she's been up to into Season 1?
Both of them have been practicing more. Seen her at the academy doing a bit of practice as well. But for Leona, I mean, she's such a busy woman, isn't she? I mean, she's drifting all the time. She's doing all sorts of driving all the time. But I can promise she has been putting in better preparation for this season, and she should be a lot stronger.
And Des, for these celebrity drivers, it's not all fun and games, in particular for Whelan Choi. In the last couple of weeks, he's really been putting in the hours behind the sim at the Axel Center.
Ah, yes, but Whelan Choi provided one of the highlights of last season, that three-point turn at Bathurst. I mean, he's an entertaining character in his own right. That was entertaining, whatever the sport that you offer. But you're quite right. He took that on the chin, and he said, listen, I'm gonna take this a little bit more seriously. So he has been practicing. I'm really looking forward to seeing some incremental improvements from Whelan and Leona, just to prove that they are serious at this game.
And that's us looking back at the drivers returning from Season 0. But Alex, some of the new drivers joining us on the grid tonight for Season 1, who do you think's really going to catch our eye on track?
Well, I think Team Flash, Alif and his brother Tasby are going to be very strong. The Hong Kong team as well, Zed Challenger, you know, Jack Ting Chung and Jay, they're going to be super strong. Jay Young. Who else is going to be strong? The Indonesian team's JMX Phantom. Wow, you know, they've got to watch out for Presley and Fadli there. They're going to be very quick as well. Where do we go? I mean, Black Arts Racing, you know, their first foray into esports. Josh Perwin, he's a top-class act from Perth, Australia. And, of course, he's got Alistair there as a teammate as well. I think, you know, I think we're going to have 10 cars within half a second. It's going to be that close in qualifying.
Well, we're going to find out those results very, very soon. The drivers are in the middle of their practice session right now. And up next, we have the qualifying session, Race 1 and Race 2, all coming to you right after this break. Welcome back to round 1 of season 1 of the E1 Championship, the premier racing series in the region for sim racing. Now the drivers are currently in the middle of their practice session. Alex and Des are in the studio in the commentary box. getting ready for qualifying. But before we get into all the action tonight, let's take a look at the tracks for this season. Here we go. We have 8 different tracks this season, and tonight we are going to be racing in Austria. Sure. So the lineup tonight, Alex and Des. We've got a lot of drivers from around the world. In particular, we've got the Vietnamese drivers who will be putting in a strong show. Tell us a little bit about what they've been up to in the run-up to the E1 Championship tonight.
Well, that's actually quite interesting because they actually went through a big competition to try and decide who these drivers are going to be, because they're very new to e-racing, don't have a big e-racing background, although they are getting heavily into esports. So these are 2 brand new drivers. We don't really know much about them. They won that competition and they're representing some Vietnam team right now.
Back to Daniel. I think we had a technical hitch there. So Daniel, talk us through the format that we're going to go through.
Yes, thank you, Des. Let's take a look at the race rules and format for Season 1 of the E1 Championship. And there we have it. We have 8 rounds this season. We'll be going a lot in Europe. We've got the Red Bull Ring in Austria tonight, and next week we move to Hockenheim in Germany. We've got some very tight and twisty tracks. Suzuka, one of my personal favorites, and also going to Watkins Glen in the US. Now tonight we have the Styrian Grand Prix, and that's something that's going to sound very familiar to people who watch the Formula One. A very complicated track, even though it's simple in its design. Drivers really have to watch their minimum speed going through the corners. A lot of hard braking, a lot of long straights for overtakes as well, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that with our 28 car grid. And of course tonight we'll be using the ERacing 17 car on the RaceRoom platform. The weather is going to be dry and fine, and damage is going to be on full. Of course, Ayman Akim as well on this track holds the 2nd fastest lap ever on the Red Bull Ring on the ERacing 17 on RaceRoom. So we're going to see what he can do in qualifying, which lasts 5 minutes. This determines the starting position for the races, and race 1 will last 15 minutes, a sprint to the finish, followed by a reverse grid race 2, much longer at 30 minutes, with strategy coming into play and pit stops. And there you can see the breakdown of points that will be accumulated after each event tonight. Now, of course, the name of the game is to collect the most points by the end of the season, and the person that does will be crowned our champion for the E1 Season 1. They will walk away with $5,000 in cash, with winners all the way up to 5th walking away with a little bit of cash as well. All right, now up next we have qualifying, but the drivers are doing their practice session right now. Let's hand it over to Alex and Des in the commentary box as well to walk us through a little bit of the action and what the drivers are up to.
Yeah, Alex, I've just selected the Vietnamese. We've got Hoang Vinh, who's making a start there. Just like you to monitor how you think he's taking the track, because as Daniel explained, it is a complicated circuit. You slam into these brakes at the end of the long straights.
Yeah, so he's going through turn 3 right now. He was in the practice race yesterday, and you can see he's adjusting to it a bit, but he's coming along quite a bit now. He's in the 6s at the moment, doing a race run, running a little bit wide there through turns 4. So it's great to see him really in the sport. You know, a lot of them be now thinking about the strategy, of course. Let's talk a bit about that, of course. The fuel has been set at ×1, so times normal, but the tires is ×3 tire wear, Des. So they are going to have to watch it to make sure that their tires can last the whole race in the 15-minute race. And I think with ×3, even though this is a track which is low on tire degradation, I think they'll have to do a pit stop for the second race.
One of the guys, as we just see at the bottom left of your screen, Muhammad Alif. They call him Hamilton because he is that good. He is an e-racing superstar in many ways. We're delighted to have him on. Do you expect him to waltz away with the $5,000 first prize?
Definitely one of the favorites. Definitely. He did 1 or 2 E1 races last season, but you know, he just came in and did it. Now he's in here with a proper team. Team Flash, who's one of the top esports teams around. And let's not forget, at the global edition, ERacing GP, he's a 3-time champion. So he's raced against these drivers, most of these drivers on this grid, and he's beaten them in a fair fight. So he's definitely going to be a challenger. Could he win the championship? Oh, it's so hard to call. There got to be about 6 favorites right now that could win this championship.
I think you're dead right. There are a lot of good guys, one of whom is Josh Perwin. He's a young Aussie who we know can be quick. And I know in other competitions you've been following his progress, and he's particularly determined this season.
Yeah, like a Leaf, he's great across multiple championships. He won the McLaren Shadow Asia Pacific Championship. That was in the Formula One game. I think he finished runner-up in one special game on Forza just recently. He's won in RaceRoom. He's won in R-Factor, and he's a real pro at iRacing. So, you know, he's in the top splits in iRacing as well, in worldwide. So there's a lot of really top drivers, and Josh is definitely one of them.
And an outsider as far as we're concerned, but we've heard of him before, Nat Sirigaya, based up in town. It's great to have the ties joining us in the E1 Championship. It is only a single man, but what a man to have.
Yeah, so Sirigaya is joining Safe House. He's partnering with Mikko Nasi for this round. He has it all to do, though. We know how good he is in GT Sport. He finished runner-up in the Asia Pacific Toyota Velocity Challenge. So he's a real top driver. However, he's up against it today because he's not so used to RaceRoom, but I know he's also having issues with his pedals. His pedals are not quite configured quite well to this car at the moment. I know he's been struggling with that in practice yesterday. So I'm not sure we'll see him right at the top, but when everything's working, he'll be fighting for race wins.
Bit of an occupational hazard if the pedals aren't working right, because you've got to brake and accelerator.
Well, it's just like in real life. You've got to watch out for the mechanicals as well, and sometimes it's hardware, sometimes it's software. I mean, Sirigaya's teammate, Mikko Nasi, also had some trouble. His PC was down for 4 days last week, so he's also a bit light on practice.
Okay, the guys have just finished their practice. 1 or 2 nerves. I know you had a racer briefing earlier on. What was the sense that the drivers were thinking coming into season 1?
Very cagey. The guys have been here already. They were not letting anything go. They're not saying anything. They weren't even asking questions because they don't want to give away what they know. They're being very cagey about lap times. You know, the world record for this game and this track, I think, is a 4. I think we'll see drivers in the 3s today.
Yeah, 104, 103. That would be pretty quick. Qualifying is just about starting. We are on board here with Fadli Rakhmat, but he's not out at the moment. How about Chung, the Hong Kong racer who's come in? Jacked in. He has done some e-racing before, but that's a little bit wayward as he comes in. Should we follow a circuit round Red Bull Ring? Is he on? No, he's not getting his timing just yet, is he? Oh, there's a spin for us. Or is that lagging?
Yeah, he's having some lag. Okay, so this is actually the warm-up. This is the wrong thing right now. We should be going to qualifying. So that needs to be changed very soon. And I think race control will get on top of that right now. This is not the right session. They will have to go into qualifying, which is a different session. Warm-up actually comes after qualifying and before race 1. So they're going to need to fix that. So Jack there anyway on track. This is additional practice for everyone because we got 27 people in the server. We're still missing 1 person in the server. So this is Jack Ting, though. He's getting some laps there. He is quite a talent, though. Jack Ting, he won the RaceRoom touring car championship last year. He was very quick. In a touring car, a front-wheel drive touring car, I don't think there's anyone there quicker in Asia Pacific. But he's got to try and prove himself in these Formula 1-esque cars. And we will see if he can be able to do it.
Okay, now we are in the garage. We have got a change. So the warm-up lap, technical error, early season. The engineers are allowed to have 1 or 2 problems as well. But the qualification will be a 5-minute qualification, Alex. And I want to ask you about your selection of the car. Because you mentioned some of the guys are very good in touring cars. Some are the better in the formula cars. What you're thinking of putting them in this particular RaceRoom formula?
Well, I believe this is the best car on the RaceRoom platform. It's so fast, it's so furious. You know, it's got a combination of 2 kinds of Formula 1 cars. First, you got the sound of the old V10 engine, so that's great. I love hearing the old V10 engines. But it's based on a modern Formula 1 car with lots of downforce, 950 horses. Yeah, they're going to have to reset the server now because it's just in the wrong thing. So unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to bear with us here. They're going to have to reset the server, and we're going to have to go maybe for a short break in a while they try and fix some technical issues we are having right now.
I'll apologise for this, but myself and Alex and Daniel will try and talk through some of the ramifications or some of the technicalities, perhaps, of sim racing, because it is relatively new. Now, you got involved with it, Alex, when the lockdown came in, and we thought it'd be a good way to pass what we thought would be a couple of weeks under lockdown.
Yep.
We're now 12 months in, and we're several seasons in, and it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I mean, it is... Motor racing is fun. People forget about that, you know. But so that's why when we go online and you can really curate exciting racing. Everyone has the same cars and same things, so that they can just try and get on top of things. So I love that it's such an even playing field, and we can actually enjoy the motor racing as it should be, which is just very exciting to race.
Okay, let's head back to Daniel. We'll go through maybe just one or two of the race control elements that we've got. We have got a slight problem of a server, but for now, back to our host, Danny Boy.
Yep, Alex and Des make a very, very good point. Now, I just want to touch upon the differences between real-life racing and sim racing. Now, Alex got into it, launched the E1 Championship at the start of the lockdown. Happy anniversary, by the way. And that's also when I had my first experience of the virtual racing. My traditional experience in motorsports, I got involved in go-karting at a very, very young age. And there's a lot of similarities in the foundational driving style between real-life race car drivers and virtual race car drivers. But we're going to jump into a short clip to show you the differences that a driver goes through between virtual racing and real-life racing.
What is the difference between sim racing and real life racing? Well, they are both real racing, that's for certain. However, one is in the virtual world and one is with real life cars and real life tracks.
The biggest difference is the physics on your body. Now, e-racing is by no means easy to do, but at the end of the day, nothing quite simulates that compression on your body.
The big thing is the G-forces. There are no G-forces. Suddenly, as you're going into a corner as a real racer, you've got this struggle. You're literally battling against it. On e-racing, you don't have that struggle. You've just got to guide into it. So it's a different mental calculation.
However, think about what a driver does. What a driver sees and the tools it uses, steering wheel and pedals.
They have the same skill set, but of course they have much less input because they can only rely on the steering wheel and the monitor.
It's about really fine-tuning your driving to get the car to how you want it to be, how you want it to feel, it to rotate and go through a corners.
You know that the sim, if you have a crash or any damage, you can just press the restart and everything just restart the back.
But you crash in real life, then there's the bills, the possible injuries.
What sim racers have a big advantage over real life racers is they can do so many more hours. So that's why more and more real life drivers are doing a lot of sim racing. And at the moment, there's still a bit of a difference between real life and sim racers. But as time goes on, you'll see all real life drivers are sim drivers.
And there we have it. That answers a lot of the questions that I get asked by my friends when they ask me about the differences between real-life racing and virtual racing. And let me tell you, at the beginning there, you saw the number one thing we mentioned were G-forces. Now, I've actually just come back from a weekend of racing go-karts, and I've done no preparation for it, and my neck, my shoulders, my forearms, my hands, my legs, everything is absolutely aching. So that's the main difference between driving real-life race cars and virtual race cars, but it is incredibly difficult as well to go virtual because I was down at that center where you saw all the drivers driving those sims, and that was my first proper time going head-to-head against some of them, and it is incredibly difficult. The steering wheel is very, very heavy, and to fine-tune those setups to get those fast laps consistently is incredibly difficult. Now, we're going to go to qualifying very, very soon, and ensuring that the teams have that right setup for their cars is critical and crucial. So setup is something that we like to talk about, and I know that Alex loves to talk about, and we're going to find out a little bit more from his point of view as to what the right setup is for our racing tonight at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, setup's obviously very important. That's what makes it very good with the teams, is they have to stay on top of the setup, just like in real life. It's not just about the driver. I mean, the driver does the most important bit, obviously, the last very important 5%. But the team setup, what they do with the strategy is all very important. So teams, you can play setups on RaceRoom as well. So here we are looking at Red Bull Ring. You can see it's a low downforce track with all the long straights, so you run with very low downforce. Because of low downforce, you need to run with very high gearing as well. So for a low downforce track also, you need a good front end because you want to really thread the eye of the needle and you get the front end turned into these corners to carry the speed. Traction is not normally an issue with this car, even though it's got 950 horsepower, but what's very important is stable braking. So the teams will work a lot with the setup to try and make sure that the braking is as stable as possible.
Good-looking boy there doing the thing. Behind that mask, he's a good-looking boy, is Alex Young. So you talked about the setup. Interesting, what just picking up on what Daniel was speaking about, how physically demanding it can be and how big on the neck. Now, I'm a big old fellow, so how do the skinny little fellas that we see on the sims, how do they cope with all the G-forces?
Well, I mean, on the sim, obviously, you can never really replicate a car completely, right? So, I mean, you got some simulators that try and shake and move and stuff, but it's never quite normal. So, what the pros do is they prefer not to have it shaking, just try and keep it nice and normal so they can focus on the art of driving, which is turning the steering wheel and the pedals and what you see. Now, however, when these guys want to get into a real race car, then they have to worry about G, and they have to get fitter. So like, especially when you start doing like Daniel said, go-karting is very, very physical. So they start working on getting the neck and the back and the lower back strong. Touring cars is not really very physical, but it gets very hot. So, you know, the cardio fitness is very important. And of course, if you want to get Formula One, then you got to be like an Ironman, and you need to be super strong for that. So the drivers do prepare that. We have a few of those drivers in the field today who are driving real-life race cars now, and they've been working out in the gym and getting strong. And this is the interesting thing. I get asked this question sometimes about the sim drivers. It's like, oh, they're too skinny, they're too weak, they're not going to do it. But that's so wrong, because to hit the gym requires focus and determination. And these boys have that in bucket load. So you say, go hit the gym 3 times a week. They say, I can do 6. So the drivers are getting fit pretty quick indeed.
Very good. Hey, we've got a slight delay in the start of the first E1 Championship race of the season. We're resetting the server. When we do get the server reset, we'll be coming back to qualification, which is a 5-minute race. Then we'll have a 15-minute sprint and a quick turnaround. Reverse grid 30-minute sprint. I want to ask you about the psychology again of the reverse grid. It should be incredibly difficult for those who are down in who win race 1 to actually win race 2, but you've made it in such a way that it's very possible.
Yeah, so because, you know, these cars have DRS, don't forget. So if you overtake, you get within seconds someone, the rear wing opens and it sheds down drag and you can overtake someone. So it is possible to overtake. You know, a reverse grid race can sometimes, if you go to a track like Monaco and Formula 1 car where it's absolutely impossible to overtake, if you did a reverse grid race, that's not really fair because the guys at the back, they'll never get to the front. But we choose tracks that you can overtake on. So the guys at the back, as long as they're patient, they don't do anything silly, they can get to the front. But they have to be good at racecraft. And that's what racing is all about. It's not just about going around a track and setting a lap time. You need to know how to attack, you need to know how to defend, and you need to know how to go through. So that's what makes it special. That's why I love the reverse grid races.
Okay, I think we've got some good news indeed whatsoever. We've just got the last couple of minutes of practice to get the old cobwebs out of the system, and then we will get this season up and running. So a couple of minutes worth of practice. Maybe we can just have a look at, is our champion there? Have we seen him? I haven't seen him up there. Yeah. Where is Nakib? There is Nakib. This is the man to beat. In the lime green Stratos Motorsport, is he good enough to defend his title?
Oh,
Alex?
Definitely. Look at that. He's running the #1 car in the car. So that's the first time he's running #1. We will stick with him, actually. Yes, definitely. He's definitely the favorite, I think. He did such a good job. He's only 22. He's only been doing sim racing for 3 years. But let's follow him now. He's going across the start-finish line. This is the Red Bull Ring. This is his first lap in qualifying. Coming up to turn 1. There he goes. Oh, he uses the curb on the entry. Didn't carry as much speed to turn 1 as I thought he would. So this looks like a banker lap. A little bit conservative, which shows his maturity perhaps. Now for turn 2, braking super late. He's purple at the moment, but he's also the first car on track, so there's no doubt that he was going to be purple and fastest. Now down this long straight. They will use DRS on this long straight to overtake in the race. Down to turn 3. You downhill here, you always get the rears locking up a bit, so the drivers are playing with the brake bias, going forward and backwards for the different elevation changes. Then now the double left-hander, 4 and 5. Off camber here, always get understeer through here. So they have to take quite a strange line, and they go for a very late turn in. Looks good right at the moment.
Fastest through sector 2.
He is fastest through sector 2 at the moment. He's purple. This will be good enough for pole position, I think. 2 more corners to go. Oh, got a bit of lag there. Then through the last corner. And I don't think the lag will have affected him. He goes across the line. And what lap is this? Oh, 4.2.
He's quickest at the moment, but it is very early on. 3.5 minutes still to go. Look at that. Alif Hamilton straight into pole position, Alex. A 1:04 dead.
Wow, that's a good lap, but I think they're going to go in the 3s. I think those are good banker laps for the drivers to put out there. You know, those are conservative laps because I think they will be going quicker now. Let's see what Alif can do, see if he can improve on this time. You want to ride on board with him, shall we? Let's look at the cockpit view and see what it looks like. And yes, coming up down the long drag here, you can hear the shrill of that engine, how high pitch. Whoop, purple. He's gone purple in sector 1, so that is quickest at the moment. This is an improvement. He's up 600s, I think he's up on his own pole position lap, but there'll be some faster boys coming in after behind him as well. Down to turn 3. Oh, he's looking good. He loves using those gloves. He actually doesn't use racing gloves. He uses golf gloves, actually. He prefers to use golf gloves. And now through this double left, he's coming to the end of sector 2. Will this be another purple? Yes, it is. 1700s up. So this is looking like a proper lap now. This is going to get into the 7s. 2 more corners to go, turn 7 and 8. These are fast corners, and you've got to really nail it. And oh, that looks just about perfect through the last corner. This is going to be a good lap. This is going to be in the 3s, Des.
This is Mohammed Alif Hamilton, based out of Singapore. New fastest time, 1:03.9. He is the new pole sitter. Naki Baslan alongside him. His teammate, Mohammed Tasbi, is in P3, Alex. So this is a Singaporean roadshow.
At the moment, let's see Tasbi up there. He's looking quite good right now. Just want to go back to just have a look and see how Josh Perwin is doing as well, actually. Because Josh Perwin will be very quick as well. There he is. He's one of the guys who'll be going for pole position. Oh, he's a 10th off, though. He's a 10th off. It's his fastest first sector. It's green at the moment, but he's a 10th off right now. Yeah, he's not so happy at that second corner. He tagged the curb a bit harder than he'd like to, and I don't think he's very happy with this lap. Let's have him ride on a bit longer. Let's see what the end of sector 2 is. See if the sector 2 is that okay for it.
P5 for Josh Perwin at the moment, a 1:04.5, which is 6 tenths down on Alif. Ooh, that looks a little bit wayward.
Yeah, it's still a small improvement. He doesn't have much time, though. He's only got less than a minute, about a minute left to go. So he's going to cross the line. This won't be good enough for pole position, but it might put him near the front row.
From P5, he moves to P3. Gets ahead of Tasbi and Mikko Nassi. Let's have a look at the Finn, Mikko Nassi. He was the championship leader halfway through the championship last season. What's he going to do this time? Oh, he's way off the pace at the moment.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's 4 tenths down. This is not looking good for Mikko.
Yeah, no, he's not having a good lap at all. I'm still actually, for him to be 4 tenths off pole is pretty good, because I know he's not had the practice he wanted. He's a lot closer than I thought he would be. But yeah, this is not looking like it's going to be quick enough. It looks like it's set at the moment.
Mohammed Alif Hamilton looks like he is going to be on pole. There's still a couple of seconds left before this is decided. But Alif, we suggested, could well be the superstar. Tasbi's gone to P2. Naki moves down to the second row alongside Josh Perwin. Nasi and Inigo Anton from Philippines, row 3. Tadashi and Mohammed Nabil, row 4. How about a Nat Sirigaya? Well, you said Nat would struggle. P18 for the tie.
Wow, but he's done a lot better now. He's a lot closer than he was earlier on this afternoon. So that's good to see him there. Presley Martono, JMX, P15, some of the other guys there. The Hong Kong drivers, I thought Juk Ting was going to be further up. I don't think he had a good qualifying, so he's outside the top 10 at the moment.
Well, yes, we were expecting a little bit of a challenge coming from the Hong Kong-Taiwanese partnership. 28 cars on the circuit, though. This is one heck of a packed grid.
Yeah. Yeah, we should actually, 28 drivers, but we should talk to Mohammed Alif, isn't it? Well, let's see how he did through there. That was a nice lap. So let's see. Alif, can you hear us?
40
first.
Yep. 41 போட்டுக்கிறேன். Okay.
We're just trying to get him again.
Well, he's out on the circuit.
Oh, he's out on the circuit. There we go. Alif, good lap there. You want to talk us through it? Could you have found any more?
Yeah, there was a few more tents, I think, to be found. I was just surprised the amount of grip that was available for us. I don't think I've ever felt that much of grip, but yeah, good lap. And just seeing the second team flash car of Taspi, my brother in P2, just seals it off.
Just great to see Tasby there. So you're in the warm-up now. It looked like a bit of a nervous qualifying session. Quite a few of the drivers didn't perform like we thought they would. Who's going to be your main challenges, you think, in race one?
I mean, you got I think you got Nakib, Josh. They're all very, very strong competitors. Miko, they've all got a season's worth of experience, so it's going to be pretty tough a fight. And it's all to play for.
Congratulations, man! Great pole position.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
Alif Hamilton in pole. He is already setting the mark.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? I mean, you called it, didn't you? You said Alif would be on pole or going for the race win.
The only one under 104 as well. You said they're getting into the 103s. That is seriously quick.
Seriously quick. That's the fastest time I think anyone has ever done worldwide at the Red Bull Ring. So it shows the level of skill that's been on show here. But there are a few drivers out of position. We also need to think about the DRS. It is going to be a peloton fight. We should get onto race one straight away, really.
Okay, there's a warm-up going on just at the moment. I want to ask, until we get the footage, Jacktin Chung, we expected, I think, the Hong Kong races to come in and maybe be able to make an impact. Is it worth trying to contact him to see how he's doing, or are we that close to the race? I think we're close to the race,
Yeah, I'm not sure how. Yeah, so we're getting into the race already, so we won't have time to qualify. I've been talking to him.
To Jacktin, yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the race. We'll try and get hold of Jacktin later. But yes, I mean, for the guys who first time watching E1, we have a DRS just like in real Formula 1, where when you're within a second of the car in front, the rear wing will drop down, which will give you a lot more straight line speed so you can overtake. So what will happen is we'll have packs of cars going in groups, a bit like peloton racing and cycling. It makes for really exciting racing.
And the tactics, of course, sometimes leading into the last lap, you don't want to be leading because if you're leading, you don't get the benefits of DRS.
Yes, that's right. Sometimes you do see that. You can defend here at Red Bull Ring, even though you think you can't because of these long straights, but it is possible to defend. Here we go to the race.
Okay, Muhammad Alif Hamilton is on pole. When the red lights go out, we are underway. And the season, E1 Championship Season 1, gets underway. Alif leads the way. Tasby alongside him. Nakib in the lime green is close behind. Tasby gets buffeted, but Alif and Nakib are off nice and safely. And the two expected superstars make a clean breakaway, Alex Young.
Yes, and look at Nakib had to get in front of his brother Tasby. Good start by Nakib, really had to. And look, Alif's pushing really hard. He's trying to break the DRS at the moment. And Tasby, he's going to try and help his brother in the second flash car, the orange car there. Suki is closing in on Nakib right now. Nakib's coming the inside into turn 3. But Nakib got the inside for the next corner. Yes, he holds on to P2. This is allowing Alif to get away at the front. This is exactly what Alif wants. His brother helping him out. He's going to try and break the DRS, and he's so close to breaking the DRS right now. Just over a second, so he's broken the DRS. Nakib is going to have to find some more time if he's going to get closer.
Oh, that's a big problem for Nakib. That must be a lot of lag going on there. He is on. You can never quite be sure if he is going to be kicked off. But Muhammad Alif Hamilton is leading the way after one lap, Alex. Is he far enough ahead to break the DRS?
Oh, no, he's in the DRS zone.
He's in the DRS zone. Oh, and we've got a lot of lag. We've got one or two problems here, so the drivers will have to be incredibly focused, Alex, because the vision can be very misleading.
Yeah, it can be. Let's go to see some of the shots that we can get. But yes, this is some of the action shots. Oh, look at that. We've got another car coming through. That's one of the other cars in Stratos cars, a little bit further back.
So Tasby is there. Tadashi has made a move up into P5. Ayman Hakim Tadashi there. He was runner-up in the season as we get the lovely helicon, the over-the-top shot as the Astro gets its advertising in. There is Tadashi. Now, he stayed out of danger. We've not really spoken about Ayman Hakim Tadashi, Alex, and that will shoot him down to the ground.
Yeah. So he's there in 5th position. He'll be very happy with that. Let's just look a little bit further ahead of him. Mohammad Tasbi there is hung in 4th position. But Tasbi, look at that. He's just behind Mikko Nasi. Somehow, Mikko Nasi, we always cannot write off Mikko Nasi. I was saying before that Mikko was going to struggle. But look at that. He's somehow gone from, I think he qualified 5th or 6th. And he's now up to P3, right behind Nakib.
Alistair Young has been receiving a penalty. Alistair didn't get off to the best of starts. The big 3, though, as Nasi goes on the inside of Nakib. And Nasi, Alex Young, up to P2.
Wow, that's a great position by Mikko Nasi. And look at them, they're closing down the gap to Ayman. No, Ayman, sorry, Alif. Closing down the gap to Alif. So it's the 3 of them back at the front again. The usual suspects right at the front.
Alif Hamilton from Singapore leads from Mikko Nasi. Nakib Aslan in P3, but the differential isn't a huge one. You look at the left of your screen, you can see the difference between 1, 2 and 3. Tasbi is 4, Hakim at 5. Kalen Chin's made a nice little move into the top 6 as well. You want it, but it's the top 5 who've broken away from everybody else.
Yeah, so well, we've lost both Blackouts cars, interestingly enough. They're not in the top 10 at all. But yes, it's getting very close. Look at that. Oh, the train of cars coming. Tasbi is also within a second, so the top 5 are definitely breaking away there. You've got Ayman Hakim right there in the 5th, but he has got DRS and he's staying with this train of cars. And behind Ayman, Kalen Chin in the Black Wolf is just losing touch with the top 5 at the moment. He has got Troy Ayman right behind him, however.
Yeah, so there's actually 2 sets of trains here. Kalen is leading the second choo-choo train, but he has got Ayman and Mohammed Nabil and Mohammed Ibrahim alongside them. Further down, who've we got? Whelan Choi, Alex. Whelan Choi has got himself up into P14.
Whoa.
Just going past Alistair Young there, and Whelan, talk about an improvement.
Yeah, that was him with, I think, with Josh Perwin or something. Oh, no, he's had contact with someone. I'm not sure who he's hitting right now, but he's right in the mix of it, and it's great to see him up there in 14th position. What a good job he's doing.
Terrific from Whelan Choi. How about our Vietnamese friends on debut? This is Lei, currently in P17. He's just ahead of Nat Sirigaya from Thailand, but good to see Le Hong Vin Long who's a privateer, in his first E1 championship race, but out to the points at the moment. The points at the moment, Alex Young, belong to R. Muhammad Alif Hamilton, who is in P1.
Yeah, so you've got the top 10 up there. Most of the drivers have gone for the hard tyre, strangely enough. Mikko Nasi is the only one on the soft tyre in the black car. He's the only one on the soft tyre, so he's been a bit crazy there. Some of the others are on the mediums. So let's look a bit further back. Oh, Fadli Rahmat's back there in 22nd position. That is a surprise to see him so far back there with Presley.
Fadli is all over the place. He is there.
Well, let's go back further in. But the race room is just a little bit
P15.
buggy. Yeah, P15. He's struggling a bit at the back at the moment.
Wow, we expected Josh, because he was pretty quick in qualification, we expected him to do well. Not such a good return, though, but the reverse grid race, if you're in P15 or so, isn't so bad, because you can pick up points in race 2.
Yeah, look, he's there, he's talking, he's obviously on Discord with his teammates, trying to talk about what's happening with the car. But yes, he just needs to try and pick up a couple more positions, and he'll start at the front for race 2. Obviously did not have a good first lap, but there's still a lot to play for the young Australian.
Just goes past Whelan Choi there to move himself up into P14, which is worth 2 points. Stewart's decision, Presley Martono in trouble, and Daniel Rain in trouble as well. Let's go back up to the front, Alex, because in P4, Mohammed Tasbi is under real pressure from Ayman Hakim Tadashi.
Yeah, look at that. Hakim all over the back of him, but they've lost touch with the top 3.
Indeed.
Wow.
Those top three have raced away, fizzed away, and the superstars we expected to be there have gone away. But Tasby in 4, Tadashi in P5, and in the pre-show, Alex, for Tadashi, we spoke about consistency. 8 podiums last year. He needs to get that up to 12. You can't be 4th and 5th and expect to win the title.
Yeah, so let's watch this is the guys at the front. Alif there, ready coming up to the first of the back markers.
Wow.
This is a short lap, so you do come up against the back markers quite quickly. But Mikko Nasi right behind and Nakib there in P3, so they are nose to tail as they come down to turn 3.
Don't be put off because the back markers, oh, there's a bit of contact. The back markers have got to be careful. They will get the blue flags to make sure that they move out of the way. But Nakib was caught up there, Alex. Nakib has lost best part of a second on Mikko Nasi, and that could really, really cost the Malaysian.
Yeah, he has. He just lost some time there. So, wow. So it looks like only Nasi is within a second. But I don't know. You know, Nasi is going to be struggling with tire wear at some issue because he is on the soft tire. Oh, he's coming in for a pit stop.
Nasi's got to go in for a pit.
Wow. Look, Nasi.
Well, it was a big gamble. The soft tire was a huge gamble, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a huge gamble. I wonder if he chose the wrong tire because I don't think he'd make that sort of mistake. You can't recover with a pit stop in race 1. Race 1 is too short. It's only 15 minutes. So you really can't afford to do that. So it looks like this is great news for Alif Hamilton because Alif now has over a 2-second lead over Nakib, and that means he's broken DRS, and he's going to be very hard to catch.
Don't be confused by all of the cars that are within touch of Alif Hamilton. They are all back markers. Nakib Aslam moves up into P2. Nakib 2 seconds down on Alif. There is Nakib. He's looking forward. He's looking into the far distance. Alif, where are you, my friend? I'm going round the corner ahead of you, he says.
Yeah, and looking really good indeed. Nakib, though, he's looking calm. He's 2 seconds down. It's possible to close that gap. We've seen him do that before in the past, but the reigning champion is definitely under pressure.
Mohammed Alif Hamilton, a best lap of 105.7. It's not the fastest. That belongs to Tadashi at the moment, a 105.7.06. So Tadashi may pick up 2 bonus points as well as, at the moment, a podium position. But drivers being lapped, is that Whelan Choi or Leona Chin
That's
who's just been
Whelan Choi. So Whelan also coming in for a pit stop. Obviously, he's worn out with the tire wear. So some of the drivers were trying the soft tires. I thought that was very brave. I'm not sure that was the way to go. I think the hard tire probably was the way to go because we are at times 3 tire wear. And to make the softs last 15 minutes would have been very difficult indeed.
A little bit more leisurely in P4. Troy Iman under pressure from Kalen Chin, Mohammed Ibrahim and Mohammed Nabil. Those lime green Stratos colours really are easy to pick out, but that makes Kalen Chin on the tail of Troy Iman. 2 youngsters, both teenagers. Troy looking a little bit open-mouthed, a little bit tense there. Kalen looking very determined.
Yeah, Kalen, he's not giving up there. And he's in that sandwich right now. Troy in front, Mohammed Ibrahim in the back. We haven't talked about Mohammed Ibrahim. He's a very good driver as well. Very top-rated driver in iRacing. Bit new to RaceRoom still, but he's doing a good job there, shadowing the black and red car of Kalen Chin.
Tadashi has had a slow down penalty. That means that he is under pressure from Mohammed Tasby. Tasby tried to go around the outside. Ayman Hakim just held him off, but I think he's actually served his penalty. It's a very cute time on the lap.
Yeah, so Tasby's all over the back of Ayman, which, bit of rear locking there from Tasby, just managed to save it. So who's looked after the tires best at this point? You know, Keem in 3rd position, Tasby in 4th. Whoever's got the better tire life is going to be in better position as we come into the last 4 minutes.
That
of
is
this
the
race.
battle for P3. Ayman Hakim Tadashi in P3. Let's move up to the front just temporarily because Alif Hamilton, that's the differential as he goes over the line. The difference between Alif and Nakib Aslan, 1 and 2, is 2.3 seconds up the hill, round the first right-hand corner. Nakib is not making any headway, a 106.1 for Mohammed Alif Hamilton.
Yeah, that's a good last lap by Alif. Yeah, holy...
Oh, Alif!
What happened?
Alif! What's happened there to Alif? Oh.
No, it's a lag.
No, it's a lag. Oh.
Wow. I don't know what's going on with the server at the moment, but new server for the weekend, and it's just not working for them.
Well, once again, Alif, we've got to keep an eye on this, because if we're seeing this on the screen, there could be problems with the connectivity. There don't seem to be, as he laps a couple more drivers. Alif Hamilton, Naki Baslan, actually, you look at the scoreboard, and despite what's happening visually, Alif is increasing his lead over Nakib. It is up to 2.8, 2.9 seconds.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. 3 seconds now. So Alif looks like he's got the gap now. Only just under 3 minutes to go. He's broken the camel's back, I think, and Nakib will know this, and Nakib will not be happy with this, because he'll be, I mean, finishing second is actually quite a good job, but he'll not be happy with the fact that Alif was able to extend that gap. You know, he'll be thinking to himself, okay, what am I leaving on the table here? What else do I have to find to try and close the gap, because we still got one more race to go and everything to play for.
Just before we actually focus on the race winners, let's move down to P9. Jack Ding Chung from Hong Kong on debut has made greater moves. He's got himself up into the top 10. It's Inigo Anton, the fast Filipino, who is chasing him, and Miko Nasi is behind them. But that is a three-way drive, and Jack Ding then goes very, very wide. Picked the wrong time to follow him, Alex.
Yeah, shame for Jack Ding. Just a bit wide there, but he's still there with the thing. It's still there fighting in the top 10. I think that was just lag again. Oh, Presley Martono's in the pits. Is he in for another pit stop? Oh, I wonder if he's, you know, yeah, look, he's in for a tire change.
Wow.
It's very late to do a pit stop at this point.
It certainly is. Presley was one of those who think I took medium compound. Right, let's get back up to the front. We've got to focus on Alif Hamilton. We spoke him up. We said he was in real focused form. You told me that he wants to focus on this championship. What a way to start it. This is how to set a marker.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's a great job. It's not pulling out the gap anymore, I mean, but he's got that comfortable lead right now. He'll be super happy with that. Pole position. He didn't get fastest lap, but he is going to win race 1, I think, barring, obviously, any mechanical issues.
Or lagging issues.
Or lagging issues. But yes, cool, calm and collected. It's great to see Alif doing the job that he's doing.
Alif Hamilton from Singapore against Nakib Aslan. Tasby, to be fair, this is a very, very fine start for a debut team. Alif Hamilton and Tasby are representing the
Team
Flash team.
Team Flash.
They're looking a bit flash as well.
They are. So there's Alif there. Got Nakib in the background in the green car. Let's go to Muhammad Tasby. He's doing quite well as well. He's got Ayman Hakim all over the back of him. And look at, let's see. This is the view from Ayman Hakim's car. He is just going through turn 1 there. He's within DRS at this point. So DRS is activated. You can see the button, it's flashing. He's going to the inside of this corner, which means he'll be the outside for turn 2. Can he hold it though? Can he? Oh, he's going to try and go around the outside. There's contact. No contact. They give each other just enough racing room. And then look at that. Ayman will have one more dose of DRS, and that's just enough to put him in front of Tasby. Although Tasby does a Hail Mary and tries to go around. Wasn't able to quite make it.
What has happened?
Oh, the lag.
The lag is hurting us, but well, Tasby is there. Where is Tadashi? Tadashi is there as well. We are on the final lap. We've got to tell you that. We're on the final lap, so let's focus on Muhammad Alif Hamilton. Apologies for the lagging issues that we're having. 1 or 2 server issues. We'll work on them. But the race win goes to Muhammad Alif Hamilton. He takes race number 1 from Naki Baslan. Tadashi will come in P3 ahead of Tasby. Mohammed Ibrahim coming up to P5. Troy Ayman 6 and Nabil in P7, Alex.
Wow, what a great job by Mohammed Ibrahim to get out to P5. But let's see if we can have a quick conversation with Alif. Alif and Tasby, both of you, congratulations. 1 and 3 in your first E1 race of the season. How did that go?
Yeah, couldn't be a better start, really. Man, that race, I mean, with Miko starting on softs, it was so tricky to keep him behind. And yeah, it was the best start we could hope for.
Well, I mean, Miko on soft, I wonder if that was a mistake because he had to pit in the end to change tires. I mean, how much rubber did you have on the hards left?
We had plenty enough, you know, we could have gone long. So I think it was an intentional thing from Miko. He maybe might have thought that soft might have lasted, but in the middle sector he just couldn't follow because of the dirty air, as they say. So that, I guess, that played against him. So today, so let's see for race 2.
So dirty air definitely playing a factor in the middle sector.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, well, I mean, great result. I mean, what happens now for race 2? You're going to start. Oh, we have to do the.
You have to do the selection, Alex.
We have to do the selection. All right.
Can you keep the selection like top 3 or something?
Top 3? Well, I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be top 15, Robert.
Damn.
So
okay.
you're going to start P15. And who's in P?
Joaquim Garrido was 15.
So Joaquim Garrido is going to start in pole position. But congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Cheers. 7.
Information of the result. Fastest lap to Miko Nassi on the softs. Alif Hamilton picks up 25 points from Naki Baslan in P2. Tadashi got 3. Tasbi in 4. And Ibrahim also in the top 5 as well. Further down for the Vietnamese, they got points in P14.
Yeah, good to see. First points for Vietnamese, the Vietnam team. That is a great job. You know, they were one of the late entrants, so great to see them there. Surigaya, they recovered to 16. That's a good job there. And some of the other teams, not a great day for JMX Phantom. They had some issues. We'd love to talk to them later, perhaps, to see what that was all about.
Okay, well, it wasn't textbook stuff, and we had 1 or 2 lagging problems, but we have got the season up and running. And Alif Hamilton is setting the bar very, very high. But I love the fact you've got 15, top 15. He's got to come from 15th in the second race, reverse grid, over 30 minutes.
Well, he's got a lot of good drivers in front of him, so it's going to be very tough. The good news is it's a longer race. It's a half-an-hour race. So, you know, the drivers like, Alif and Nakib, they have to be aggressive in the first few laps because that's when they can do most of the overtaking. But they have to be very careful that they don't make a mistake and end up losing a front wing or something, because that's it. That's a race very, very much compromised.
Okay, let's head back over to Daniel, who'll just take us into the build-up for race number 2.
Thank you, Des. Well, we promised an exciting opener for the E1 Championship, and we indeed delivered. Next, we have race 2, 30 minutes, a lot longer strategy coming into play. We've got some post-race analysis for race 1, a few more interviews coming your way as well. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after the break.
Watch for the lights. Green.
Welcome back to the E1 Championship. We're here for Season 1. We're at Round 1 and we're racing in Red Bull Ring in Austria. We've just wrapped up Race 1, which is our sprint race. It lasts 15 minutes and it's just been hectic and crazy. We've got 28 drivers in the field. Great racing up and down the order. But we want to speak to some of the drivers in a little bit more detail. And I think one of the drivers that we're going to speak to first, Alex, is Mikko Nasi, the calm, cool, and collected Finn. So let's just get him up there. Hey, Mikko, how's it going?
Hey, Daniel. All right.
Good, good. So we saw you carving your way up the field again in a very true Mikko Nasi style. We saw a lot of that in Season 0. But tonight, what was up with the tire strategy and the late pit stop? Walk us through what happened there.
Yeah, it was. I just decided to go soft because I wanted to have more fun. So I decided just soft strategy with a pit stop, and I figured it could get me into the top 5-ish if the strategy paid off nicely.
So I usually don't want to ask this question because I know drivers can be a little bit reserved about what they're planning on doing. But now that you tried that different strategy for race 1, what's your plan for race 2?
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say if it could have worked, how it would have worked. There was lag contact during my second stint that dropped me back. But yeah, the main issue was actually Alvin was too fast. He was so it was difficult to overtake him, and I lost time with him behind him.
Well, not good for you perhaps, but just great to see his performance. But you said the dirty air was a factor as well, the middle sector. What can you do to combat that? More rear wing or something?
Yeah, potentially, or just start on the same strategy as the others. But yeah, it's just tough because the two fast left-handers are actually where the soft tires have the biggest advantage. But then that advantage gets taken away when the car oversteers so easily behind the other car.
So what's the strategy for this race now?
I don't know. Maybe I'll try something fun again.
Okay, no pit stop then.
That's no fun.
Okay, thanks very much, Mikko.
Thanks.
Well, the calm, cool, collected Finn of Mikko Nasi, the overtaking king. We saw some incredible maneuvers from him in Season 0. He's repeated that again tonight in Race 1. Another driver I think we should speak to, Alex. Who do we think? Joaquin Garrido?
Yeah, let's talk to Joaquin Garrido. We actually haven't talked to him that much. The 15-year-old. Hey, Joaquin, let's just get him on Discord first, so we can also talk to him. But yeah, Joaquin, P15 in that race, and fortunately, after the spin of the dice, that means you start on pole position for race 2.
But first of all, tell us about race 1.
In race 1, we had a pretty decent start, but then out of nowhere, we just got a drive-through penalty. So from last, we had to fight our way to first in 5 minutes or 6 minutes.
Well, that's a good job then, to get it back up to 15. At least you got the last championship point, and like I said, you start on pole position now. For race 2, it's gonna be the first time you started from pole position, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Look, 100%. We can avoid all the chaos and hopefully pull a gap on everyone else.
That's a spirit. Awesome.
So, Joaquin, starting on pole position at the Red Bull Ring is never easy. We know that this is a very, very fast track. We know that overtakes can be very dependent on DRS. And of course, DRS is activated when the driver behind you is close enough. So what's the strategy in the opening laps for you to really pull that gap? Because I know you want to get out of that DRS zone, right? You don't want any of those drivers to be that close behind you.
Well, the strategy is to make everyone behind me fight, and then hopefully we can just pull away.
Yeah, well, that's what my old racing instructor used to say: when two dogs fight, the other one barks. Well, best of luck there. I do want to ask, you're returning to Season 1 here at the E1 Championship. What kind of preparation has gone into Round 1 here tonight? What have you and the team been up to?
Me and the team have been practicing all day for the past 3 nights, just preparing for this race.
Well, that's good to hear. Let's hope it comes to fruition right after this. We've got race 2 coming up, Joaquin. Thank you very much. Best of luck. Hopefully we'll speak to you on the podium very, very soon tonight.
Thank you.
Well, Alex, there we have it. We've spoken to two of our drivers on the grid. Pole position, it's a nervous place to start, especially if you haven't started from there very often in the past. But up next, we have the highlights from race 1. Let's go and check it out right away.
Okay, so you see the orange cars of Team Flash had the front row, and it was a Leaf in pole position that had the best start and just ran away at the beginning. Good battle behind him though. Mikko Nasi and Nakib had the DRS, got very close to a Leaf at this point. You can see the three of them broke away from everyone else. Some good battles in the midfield. There's Wheel and Choi going wheel to wheel. But then Mikko Nasi had started on the soft tires, so he did have to come and pit, and that just took him out of the battle. This was a good battle here there between Tasby and Alif for third position. In the end, it would be Tasby who would get third position, but his brother, Mohamed Alif, would win the race from Mohamed Nakib Aslan in second position.
All right, and let's take a look at our results. 28 drivers on the grid, but here we have our top 10. Mohamed Alif Hamilton as he's known, bagging the first 25 points of the season, and our season 0 champion. Nakib Aslan close behind him in second, bagging 20 points. He's really want to be pushing in race 2 to capture as many as possible. It's a very long season. Drivers need to accumulate as much as possible. And then we have Ayman Hakim in third. This is going to be an interesting title fight. I think it's going to be this three-way battle for the rest of the season, but only time will tell. We've got Inigo Anton wrapping up the top 10. Well, Alex, up next we have race 2. I'd like to get your thoughts on the tire strategy, but I think we'll wait and see until we get onto the grid. It's going to be a reverse grid, 30 minutes long, so strategy coming into play. Lots of overtaking coming your way as well. But first, a very quick commercial break. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to Season 1 of the E1 Championship. We've just wrapped up Race 1. We've got Race 2 coming up next. But before I hand you over, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. That's the E1 Championship on Facebook and E1 Race on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you're going to get all the latest updates and follow your favorite drivers throughout the season. Up next, I'll hand it over to Des and Alex in the commentary box, where we've got the drivers doing practice and Race 2.
Well, we're back. Race 2 is about to come up. What do you think is going to happen, Des?
Well, Alif has got to come from P15 this time, so this will be a real indication of how good he is. But we know that this fella is exceptional. Nakib, I thought, was very good, but I'm interested to see if Joaquim Garrido is able to make a statement from pole position and maybe hold off the opposition, because he's a good racer, Joaquim.
Yeah, so we have the same issues. I think the server issues we had just now are going to make it really difficult for the guys in the mid-pack. So that's where the top guys are going to start right now. So they're going to have to be very patient and try and make their way through. It might even be better to try and do an alternate strategy, so you're not on the same piece of tarmac as much as possible. Because, yeah, there's going to be a bit of that right now. Hopefully it'll be a bit better for race 2. But for the guys at the front, if they can just streak away, especially if the guys are behind a fighting, like what Garrido was saying, then that'd be good for them.
Certainly would. We've got a couple of debutants in this E1 Championship. Hui and Long, the Vietnamese, where they got into the points. I didn't expect the Vietnamese to score points in the first race of the season. Let's see if they can build on that. They will be towards the front of the grid as well.
Yep.
And
well,
we
we're
are
going
all
to the
just
race.
about set, aren't we?
Full
So
screen.
once the garage timing goes out, reaches 1 minute, then we will be looking at the red lights. And we are on board Joaquim Garrido on pole position. The Filipino to the right of your screen. Joaquim Garrido is the man who has got pole. The red lights are off. We are underway. Look backwards. Joaquim sees a lot of contact going behind him. And he's got off to a really sweet start, Alex Young. He's taken Alistair Young and Arif Azmi with him, and Whelan Choi in P4 as well. Good stuff from Whelan Choi, but great stuff from Joaquim Garrido.
Yeah, really good start by Joaquim Garrido. That's exactly the start he wanted. Alistair Young going there with him as well. Has to keep it nice and calm. If Garrido can just break the DRS, you know, especially if the guys behind him start fighting, that'd be perfect for him. Oh, but yes, so we're still having some issues with the lag right now. So the drivers have to watch out for that as they come to turn 3.
Let's have a look at those a little bit further down. Muhammad Alif Hamilton started in P15, winner of race number 1. He's taking it nice and easily. Both he and Tasby, I think Alex, have said, listen, let's not get involved early on in this race. There's 30 minutes to go, but they can't leave it too long.
Yeah, no, they have to be patient, though. It's better to be patient in the first round, even if you don't get far up as you want, because anything can happen at the moment.
Look how busy that is, Alex.
Yeah, it is busy. You know what I mean? It's like a Sunday market, isn't it? To be too crazy and end up losing the race, because don't forget, damage is full, and if you damage the car, oh, and look at this, there is a car going wide right now.
Nakib, I think that was. Nakib has been pushed down to P16. Nakib, P2 in race 1, but the defending champion out of the points, Alex, because he was barged out of the way in traffic.
He's got issues. Oh, that's it, championship. The champion is out. He will try and get back to the pits to recover, but that's a disaster for him.
Up at the front, Miko Nasi is the new race leader. Miko has overtaken Joaquim Garrido. We are on lap 2 at the moment. I think Garrido was leading at the end of lap 1, but Nasi, who had that interesting, in inverted commas, pit strategy and tyre strategy, he's on soft compounds again.
Yeah, he's on the soft compound, so he's gone for the aggressive strategy. Super aggressive strategy, shall I say. He's up to P1. Wow, will this pay off? I mean, gosh, look at the gaps he's putting, because everyone else is going on the hard tyres. He's gone for the soft tyres, and he's leaving everyone behind.
He's posted a 106.5. Nobody else is under 107. Inigo Anton, a 107.6 is the closest we've got. So Nasi's soft compound is trying to blow this field away.
He is, and look at that lead. It's a huge lead. What a great job by the Finn. He's just moving away from everyone. That's a big lead at the moment. That's exactly what, when you go for the soft tire strategy, you need to be super aggressive and take those risks. but it's a high strategy, and at the moment it's paying off because he's just pulling away from everyone.
It's 2.8 seconds. Mohammed Nabil is the man who's got himself into P2, and Nabil, the brother of Nakib, who is still really struggling. Nakib, I think, is almost out of the race. Nabil in P2 ahead of Joaquim Garrido in 3. Alistair Young, your boy, in 4 ahead of Arif Azmi and Inigo Anton. That's a good little battle for P2 to P6. There's a nice little train of 5 cars there. We're on board here with Inigo Anton.
Yeah, he's going to try and go around the outside of one of the Stratos cars. I think that was Azmi. Oh, nice move there around the outside at turn 1. Great move. And now all over the back of Alistair Young.
Right, let's just look a little bit further down. I am not seeing Nakib Aslan, Alex Young. I'm not seeing him at all, but I am seeing Alif Hamilton. Alif now up to P8. Mohammed Alif picked up P8. He's taken Mohammed Ibrahim with him and Tadashi just behind.
Yeah, so this is looking good for, I mean, that Alif, it's not a tremendous first 2 laps, but that's perfect for him, to be honest, because his car's in one shape, he's stable, it's not like, he hasn't damaged the car, and he's still going strong.
So Alif is in P7. Troy Iman is there. Miko Nasi is still leading the way. Let's go back to Miko Nasi, Alex. And Miko, his lead is up to 4 seconds from Nabil. He's stayed out. How long will he stay out on these soft tyres?
He's going to have to stay out, I think, for...
halfway?
No, I think he'll be... He went in about 7 minutes in race 1, so I think it'll be the same again. He's just going to push. The question is, will he go for a 2-stop strategy or will he go for a 1-stop? Because if he wants to go for a 1-stop, he's got to try and get to maybe the 10-minute mark, maybe the 8, 9, 10-minute mark, which is another 5 minutes to go, and then put on the hards, which might not be such a bad idea.
Everybody's going to have to take a pit stop, or might some be able to massage and manage these hard compounds right the way around?
You know what? I don't know. Everyone's playing the cards really tight to the chest. We talked to Alif, didn't we, earlier on? And he says the hard compounds still have plenty of rubber on them. So maybe he's going to try and go all the way without a pit stop.
Okay, let's just move away. We'll keep an eye on him. He's increasing that lead lap after lap. He's just posted a 106.4. Again, that is 0.8 faster than anybody else on the circuit. A 107.2 from Troy Iman is the next. Very quickly, let's look down at some of those who we've not really looked at before. Ben Seek, driving out of Brunei. He is in P14 at the moment in the not quite lime green, but the pale lime green. And it's Presley Martono that he is chasing, and Mika Hakimi just behind him, but in the points at the moment, Ben Seek.
Yeah, and just ahead of Presley Martono is his teammate, Fadli Rahmat there, look at him. He's chasing down some. Look, I think he's just behind Tasby.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job right now, and he's all over the back of the guy that finished 4th position in race 1.
And P16 as we stick with Fadli Rahmat. I like Fadli. We've seen a lot of him in E-racing. I always expect him to be quicker than he actually is, but here he's trying to hold on to P12. In fact, he's trying to get onto the tail there of Mohammed Tasby.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can just stick there. We'll stick with Fadli just for a moment.
Yeah.
Then he just goes a little bit wide, and Tasby looks quick.
Yeah, so Fadli did a good job because he was right at the back. Both the JMX Phantom cars struggled in race 1, obviously with some lag issues. I think they were right at the back, so he's got up into 12th position, and he's showing some good pace here because he's right in the back of Tasby, and maybe he can make a couple more positions before they have to think about pit stops.
Okay, Alif Hamilton has got himself up into P5. This is ominous because there's still over 20 minutes to go. He's on hard compounds. He's got Inigo Anton and Alistair Young in his sights, but the winner of race number 1, and he was on the front row of the grid. I don't think he was fastest in qualifying, but the winner of race 1 is majestically got himself up into P5.
Yeah, he's looking good, isn't he? This is perfect for him. Well, not perfect, but almost perfect. He's looking in good shape right now. Yeah, he's closing in on the battle for 3rd position between Young and Anton. Contact between the two of them. No, that was contact. And that's really helped Alif. Look, Alif's now all the way on the back of Anton.
So Alistair Young is currently in P3. He's in the red and black. P4 is Inigo Anton, and as you quite rightly say, Alif is chasing. He's dragging Troy Iman with him. Let's go back to Alistair. Alistair currently in P3, Alex, but that is a long chain ahead of him. Has he broken the DRS? Not quite. So he's going to come under pressure from Anton, Hamilton, Iman, Tadashi, Kalen Chin, and Mohamed Ibrahim.
Yeah, and Alistair's got a slow down penalty for track limits. I think that might have been his 5th one by now. But Anton, yeah, Anton looks quicker, and I think it's just a matter of time before they manage to squeeze through.
There is Inigo Anton currently in P4, keeping an eye on the gap with Miko Nassi. That gap has dropped down for Miko Nassi. It's just 5 seconds now for Miko, so maybe on lap 8, Alex. Does he stay out for one extra lap, get the 10 minutes out of those soft compound tyres?
I think he's got to. He's going to try and squeeze it. If he can squeeze it out for another lap, I think he'll go to hards and he'll make it go. Yeah, look at that. He's doing some good lap. It's good work. I'm a fan of your work, Miko Nassi. This is a good. Let's see what this last lap is. If it's again in the 6s, that's it. Yeah, 6.9. So he's still showing pace. So maybe he can squeeze out another 2 more laps, and then it will definitely be a one-stopper. But then I think he'll go to the hard tires. But it's a big, big lead at the moment.
It's a lead of 5 seconds over Mohamed Nabil. Now then, the big question, which we don't know, is whether the hard compounds will last the full 30 minutes.
Well, this is really impressive from Nabil, because Nabil is one of the ERGP cars. He qualified for this race through the ERGP leaderboard. But if you qualify the race, he's one of 2. Him and Gonzalez is the other one. You have to race with 15 kilos of weight ballast, which is equivalent to a race, because we have success ballast in this series, of course. And if you win the previous race, you have to carry 15 kilos. So Nabil is doing a really good job with that ballast.
Joaquim Garrido started on pole. Joaquim is down in P9 and facing pressure from the Indonesian double threat, Fadli Rahmat and Presley Martono. Rahmat goes past Joaquim. Presley tries to go past as well. Tasby as well. And wow. That is not a good 10 seconds in the racing life of Joaquim Garrido.
And Martono, both the JMX cars have got past Tasby as well. So that's a good job for him. So look at that, Presley and just ahead of him is his teammate. So both of them got past Tasby. So Tasby struggling for pace at the moment. Look at it, all orange cars as well. You can't tell the difference. 2 JMX cars in front and the Flash car just behind.
Miko Nassi has gone into the pits, Alex, and Miko Nassi has come back out in P17. And he's on soft compound tyres again.
Wow, don't tell me he's doing a 2-stop strategy. He's doing a 2-stop strategy. He must be doing a 2-stop strategy. That's incredible. So, that's a super aggressive strategy for Miko Nassi. He's got to sieve through the field, though. To make this work, he's got to clear these guys super fast. Look, he's got the soft tires. Let's see if he can get a squeeze out. Oh,
that Ben Seek closing that door, saying, you're too close. So he goes round the inside, does Miko Nassi. Jack Ding Chung is ahead of him, and then he's got Josh Perwin. But a 2-stop strategy for Miko Nassi. Desperation already. That's Ben Seeker in the lime green. He's the man just behind Nassi. Let's see if he can see him go away. Alistair Young, slow down penalty for track limits again. But Nassi is disappearing. He's got through past Jack Din. Joaquim Garrido has dropped down again. Joaquim's having a bit of a nightmare.
Got Miko down, going on the outside. Oh, had to lift though. No, that's right, that's not Miko, that's Ben Seeker watching. Looking, trying to use the DRS. But, oh, Ben Seeker still not giving up. Goes down the inside. Careful he doesn't punch her. A nice try by Ben. Didn't quite make it happen, though.
The big smile from Ben Seeker. Stop enjoying yourself, fella. You're not here for fun.
It's supposed to be serious stuff.
Right, let's go up to the front. The new race leader, Mohamed Nabil. Nabil, big call. ERacing GP competitor. They're not expected to be at the top of the leaderboard, Alex Young.
No, with 15 kilos ballast, but he's just showing how quick he is. This, of course, Naki Baslan's brother. They're very, very talented in the family, yeah, he's doing a good job. Look at who's that in P2? P2,
Alistair.
Alistair Young. Alistair's still there.
That's another talented family, to be fair.
Well, I'm just a bit surprised. There's been so many slow-down penalties. He's going to start dropping back very soon. Third position, Kalen Chin, though. Kalen Chin is up to third, Des. He's overtaken Alif and Inigo Anton.
Quite right. Alif Hamilton has dropped down to P5, so that's Kalen in P3. Let's look back at Kalen. Kalen looks backwards to Inigo and backwards to Muhammad Alif Hamilton. And also Troy Iman is in there. That lime green, so easy to pick out. It's a smiling, it's a serious Kalen Chin today. He's a Grim Reaper today.
Yeah, he looks like he's put on some height as well. He looked shorter last time I saw him. But yeah, great job by the Black Wolf car to get up to P3. Really, really fine driving, because he wasn't even on a radar, was he? He's in the mid pack, and he's managed to move up and overtake Alif and Inigo. And good job there.
So Alistair Young has dropped down. Alistair was in P2, but Alistair's come in for the pits. So Alistair was in P2. Nabil has stayed out in P1. Hard compound tyres. I've asked you 3 times. We're still no closer to an answer. What's the wear and tear on these hard compounds?
So the hard compounds last a lot better than the medium compounds and the soft compounds. And the hard compound is actually you can still do decent lap time. So Nabil's there, but you got to feel that he's another penalty. You got to feel that Nabil's in really good shape right now, but he's got to be thinking about a pit stop. But he's going to try and stretch it out a bit longer, because the good thing about starting on the hard tires is if you can stretch it out, don't come in at the 15-minute mark, don't come in at the 20-minute mark, maybe come in at the 22-minute mark, you can go to soft tires. And if you can go to soft tires, you're laughing, because the soft tires have so much grip, and if you can just run 10 minutes on the soft tires, Nabil will be looking in great shape.
Maybe that is something that Naqib Aslan can do. Naqib is still out there, Alex. He's a long, long way down. He's in P20. He's out of the points. But if he can time a soft compound tyre, to last 12 minutes, he could get up into the points.
Yes, he could very much do that. And also, let's not forget, he'll probably go for fastest lap. Fastest lap will get you 2 points as well. At the moment, I think fastest laps with Mikko Nasi. He's done a 5.6. But yeah, still a long way to go. Anyone can get that fastest lap.
Muhammad Alif is making a move here on Inigo Anton. Alif goes through the inside of Inigo Anton. Anton drops from 3 to 4 and feels the pressure from Troy Iman behind him, but Alif then just flexes those muscles. Anton, he's lost 2 places there, Inigo Anton. He's lost 3 places because Ibrahim's gone through. What's happened to Inigo Anton, Alex?
He's still there. He's just dropping back a bit. He's suffering a little bit from lag, and he's just dropped back a bit.
But into P6 it is. Up at the front, Kalen Chin is making a move. Kalen Chin very, very close on the back of Mohammed Nabil. You were expecting this. That's a back marker being overtaken. It's Kalen Chin. Moves around the outside, swerving all over the circuit to try to get around the outside on turn number 1, and is pushed very, very wide. Good defensive driving from Nabil.
Yeah, that was a bit unnecessary. He has one more long straight to use the DRS, so that wasn't the spot to do it. Just compromise his exit, and that's it. Yeah, that wasn't he needs to be a bit more patient and pick his moments, Kalen Chin, because he's just running to the back of Nabil has just compromised him now, and look at that gap. He's got to do it all over again on the next lap.
I'm just looking at the concentration of Nabil Aslan on the left-hand side, bottom left of the screen. He is full of concentration. Oh, I tell you, there's a development because, Alif Hamilton is into P3. I thought somebody had gone into the pits. These hard compounds, nobody's thinking of pitting on the hards, are they?
No, I don't think so.
And we're beyond halfway now. If they were, it's a big
look,
call. Kalen's the new race leader.
Oh, then he goes run wide. Oh, Kalen, that's just... he's just making it super hard for himself, and this is going to compromise his chance of winning this race. He's not won a race 2 before in ERGP. And if he doesn't drive smart, he's going to lose this race as well.
Well, this time he does get past, and then loses it again. You
Yeah.
can see his reaction. He's wondering what's going on. That might be a game problem for
no,
him.
he's got a puncher. He's got a puncher.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he had contact with Nabil, and you can't afford contact. Oh, it's making it so easy for Alif. And Alif is just going to go straight through as well. Has Alif gone into the pits? Oh, Alif's gone into the pits.
So Alif Hamilton has gone into the pits. So it's not that easy. Nabil still leads. Kalen Chin has had a puncture. He is out of contention.
Yeah, Nabil doing really good. I'm so super impressed. This is the younger brother of Nakib, and he's taking a really good care of those tires. Yes, he got into first position so he could massage him a bit better. But look how far he's going. Everyone else is coming in for pit stops.
Look at this. Alif is on
soft
compound.
tires. Soft tires. Can he make it go to the end? That is the question. Oh, look, Kalen's still trying to get in the pit lane. Oh, with his punch, it's such a shame, Kalen. I think he's only got himself to blame because he had contact with Nabil on that lap. Once at turn 1, once at turn 2. Didn't play that smart, I feel, and unfortunately that's his race ruined.
So Alif is, guess who he's trailing? He's trailing Mikko Nassi. Nassi is in 4th, Alif is in 5th. Nassi is posting a 107.4. These are not fast laps from Mikko Nassi. He has got a 105.6, but Nassi in P4, Alex Young, isn't able to really make any ground on Troy Ayman, Mohamed Ibrahim, or Mohamed Nabil ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's because he went to the soft tire, his pit stop was a lot earlier, so these tires are getting really worn out now. So he'll be thinking about his second stop. He's the only one doing a second stop. Everyone is doing 1 stops. So Mikko Nassi will need to stop very soon. But then he's got to try and fight his way back on fresh rubber and see if he can get into the top 3. Here he is leading the race right now. Got
Nabil and Ibrahim into the pits.
Yeah, so
Nassi, the new race leader.
Let's see what Nabil and Ibrahim, what tires. They've gone for the soft tires. Good strategy. Let's see if Nabil comes. Oh, but Alif has jumped him. Alif has done the undercut, and he's in front of Nabil. Look, there's Nabil coming out of the pits, and there's Alif. So Alif, fantastic. He's up to P2 now with his earlier pit stop.
So if Nassi has to take another pit, he's only 10 seconds ahead of Alif. That's nowhere near enough time to be able to pit for a second time. Nassi, he couldn't gamble and stay out. That'll be 17 minutes on soft compounds for Nassi. That's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think he's going to have to pit. Alif's looking really good here. But he did take those soft tires quite early. You know, he's got to go through these soft tires on 12 minutes. The good thing is he's out in front, so he can take it nice and easy. If he can take it nice and easy, he should be able to win this race.
Nabil is the man in P3. Alif Hamilton is the man in P2. Mikko Nassi is the man in P1. Interested to see as he comes towards the end of this lap. Stayed out again, has he? Oh no, he's not at the end of the lap. Where is he?
No, he's at turn 2. He's still got another lap. I would
Okay.
think he would be thinking about pitting now because his pace is, well, it's not being, oh no, actually, yeah, it's a 6s right now. He needs to think about pitting. He's going to come out of the pit lane with about 10 seconds down on Alif, and I think it's going to be too far to make up.
Nakib Aslan, just as we speak at Nassi, Nakib is beginning to make headway, P16. Big problems for Nakib though. He was 14th on the grid and he's never really recovered, has he, Alex?
You know, he got involved in the argy-barginess of the turn 1, lost his front wing, had to pit straight away, so he was never really in the reckoning. So not going to be a good weekend for Nakib, although he did get P2 in race 1.
Indeed. You are allowed to throw 1 set of results between rounds 1 and 7 away. So there's always that to bear in mind, but you never want it to be round 1 or 2. You don't want it to be early in the season because it leaves you no room for error.
Yeah, that's right.
New race leader, Alif Hamilton, because Nassi has indeed gone in for his second pit stop. Just coming out now. Nassi, when he does come out, will be coming out in P4. So a brave strategy. Again, soft compounds. In fact, P6 when he eventually gets out because Inigo, Anton, Tasbi, Ibrahim and Nabil, as well as Mohamed Alif Hamilton, have all gone in front of him.
Yeah, Mikko Nassi though, let's see, he's going to be, he's too far behind, isn't he? He's good 14, 12, 13, 14 seconds behind the race leader, even though he's got the fresh tyres now, and he'll be able to drive as he likes, and he'll be setting fastest laps of the race for sure. I think the gap is too big right now for him to close it down to Alif.
Well, there he is. He's going past Leona Chin, I think it is, who had a slow-down penalty. He's catching up fast on Inigo Anton. Inigo is 7 seconds down on Mohamed Tasbi, the race leader by quite a margin, Alex. And he's new to this E1 Championship, but he's a familiar face. There's already the glimmer of a little smile. With 6-7 minutes to go, you can already feel that he thinks that this is his.
Yeah, he has. He's done all the work. He's going to win a double. This is going to be maximum points for him. He's not going to fastest lap, I think, but still, he'll be super pleased with this. Really, really good result. A little bit further back from him, of course, Nabil there he is. He's only 3 seconds behind the race leader. But, you know, I'm not sure he's got the pace to try and close it down enough. And then, of course, Mohamed Ibrahim there in 3rd position. You know, the Stratos car. Actually, let's talk about Ibrahim. He's new to E1, and he's been very, very quiet. But there he is. He got 5th position in race 1, and now he's up to P3 in race 2. So, real quiet job by the Indian, but done a very, very, very impressive job. So it's good to see him up there in P3. A bit further back from the Stratos Motorsport car is Mohamed Tasbi, the 2nd of the Team Flash cars. There he is. He was not looking so good in the beginning of the race, but obviously I think after the pit stop, the change of tyres has helped him, and he's looking quite good. And behind Tasbi, the flying Finn, Mikko Nasi, setting some quick lap times right now as he goes in search of fastest lap of the race.
Good little battle going on in the lower reaches. Alistair Young has just got ahead of Mika Hakimi. They are old rivals as Alistair Young in P12 here. He's had a lot of drive-through penalties, a couple of wry little smiles from Dad on Alistair.
And just ahead
in front of him, Presley Martono.
Yeah, Presley's doing a good job. He's in the points, both the JMX, Fadli Rahman also, both of them on the cusp. Presley in P11, Fadli, good job to get up to P8 though. Really good job by the JMX boys, you know, because they were nowhere in race 1, had their problems with the lag, so they started right at the back. But for them to get up into the top 10 is a really good result.
Oh, he's gone very wide there, Fadli Rahman. 25 minutes of racing have gone. The race leader is this man, Alif. Alex Young. Superlatives already this early in the season. He's taken a 105.3, still not fastest lap. That belongs to Mohamed Ibrahim. A 105 dead. That is quick from Mohamed Ibrahim. But no, sorry, Alif has just gone faster. So he's posted 2 105 laps back-to-back, Alif Hamilton.
Yeah, so that's a good, very impressive. He's looking good, but you're right, Mohamed Ibrahim's just found some pace. You know, his last lap was a 5-0. On tyres are getting a little bit worn, so he's not giving up. He's trying to close down the gap to P2. Mohamed Nabil, who's just in front of him. If you look from his cockpit view, you can just see at the top of the screen Nabil just there in the distance, and Ibrahim will fancy his chances. You know, 4 minutes to go. There's still plenty of time to close the gap.
I saw Alistair took another penalty there.
I don't know what he's doing. I kick him out of the race, I think.
Well, he's up to P10 at the moment. We're still on board Mohamed Ibrahim. Mohamed Nabil is the new race leader. What's happened here? What has happened to Alif?
Where is Alif?
What has happened to Alif? He's down in P12. A 2-stop strategy?
Oh, he must have taken his 2nd stop.
Wow.
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 I'd say we thought he'd won this race. But I did say that first, stop for soft tires came very early. I thought he was going to go to hards, but there he had to pit, I guess. He was running out of tires, scared he had to puncture. Wow, so now, okay, he's P12, he's still in the points. He's going to go for fastest lap, I think. He's not going to win the race. So, who's going to win the race, Des?
Well, Nabil is there. Mohamed Ibrahim is still there from India. It's Malaysia, India, and Nasi is up to P3, but 10 seconds down on Nabil and Ibrahim. We've got 3 minutes to race. They're all on soft compounds, but Nabil and Ibrahim, their tyres will be degrading by the second. Let's just see if Mikko Nasi...
No, Alif is still there. Okay, so I think we have server issues again. So apologies for that. Yeah, no, it looks like Alif is still winning. It's just connection problems with the server. So Alif is still there. He's somehow making sure those soft tires can hang on, and he's leading the race.
Occupational hazard of connectivity. Apologies for that. Apologies for Alif Hamilton fans or those who didn't want Alif to win. But yeah, he is leading. It is going to be a win double.
Yeah, but this is a good battle we're watching right now. Nabil there having a good battle with Mohammed Ibrahim. There is Ibrahim. You can see, if you ride on board with Ibrahim, how close he is to Nabil now. It's just within touching distance. How many more laps we got? We got 2 more laps to go, Des?
So 1:53 to go there. Yeah, this plus 2, I feel. This plus 1.
Yeah, this plus 1, I think.
Oh no, this plus 2, Alex, because it's a 1:40. It's this plus 2.
Yeah,
they're coming through, so there are 2 laps remaining as they go through the start-finish line. Mohammed Ibrahim in P3, getting very, very close on the back of Mohammed Nabil, who disappears. And so let's move on to Alif Hamilton once again. If we can. Oh, that's P2. Alif disappears. Nabil in P2, facing the wrath of Ibrahim. Great battle. The Indian is doing superbly, Alex.
Yeah, no, really, really good job. Because RaceRoom's not his game. As he goes down the inside, dives down the inside of Nabil. That's Ibrahim there. Great move, textbook move. Just sent it down the inside. I think caught Nabil out by surprise.
Does he want to do that, though? Because DRS on the last lap, Nabil will have DRS.
Well, I think he fancies he's got the pace. And look at that. Nabil suffering in the dirty air through the double left-hander. And Ibrahim has a gap. Even if he doesn't have a second, this looks like a good move by Ibrahim because he clearly has the pace, and he's pulling away now from Nabil.
Nabil is the man that is in the red just behind. The DRS is implemented, and he has indeed. He's pulled half a second already, so half a second from Nabil. Alif Hamilton is still leading the way. The top of the screen tells you that the race is nearly over. There are 20 seconds to race, so they will finish the lap that they are on. The race leader by a long way, Alex, despite that little scare, is Alif. He is going to have a win double. He's going to pick up 50 points, and I think fastest lap for this race as well, a 1:05.004. Ibrahim currently in P2, Nabil in 3, Nasi in 4, Tasbi in 5.
Yeah, Alif there looking good as he comes through. Few more corners to go. This has been a great super show by Alif, the Singaporean, just dominating proceedings.
You're going to get used to his voice because Alex is going to have to talk to him afterwards again. And the race double goes to Alif Hamilton. He takes it. Mohammed Ibrahim holds off Mohammed Nabil for P2. Miko Nasi will come through in P4 ahead of Mohammed Tasbi. Inigo Anton completing the top 6 for the Philippines as he comes over the line now. But our race winner, Alex Young, is for the 2nd time Alif Hamilton.
Wow, really good job by Alif. We're going to have to talk to him again, get his reactions. Just try and talk with him right now. Alif, wow, that was a good race, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Really,
very
really
good.
double win. How are you feeling?
Amazing, you know. It was really up and down. I mean, in the middle, I was a bit stuck, you know, in traffic, and just pitting that one lap early really helped to jump me past the traffic. But yeah, second win for Team Flash, so it's all good.
Yeah, 100% record. And tell us about the tires. You were on the softs, changing quite early. Was there enough rubber at the end?
No, I just wanted to undercut those in front of me, because I knew it was going to be very, very hard to get past them on the track. So I had to just take the risk, and my tires were 0% at the end, just dropped to 0%. So I almost blew it.
Oh, great strategy though. Those who dare win. Who dare wins the race. So double win for you. You must be feeling pretty good for the rest of the championship now.
Definitely. I mean, I'm gonna take it one race at a time, you know, as usual. Next race we're gonna have 20 kilos of ballast, so it's gonna be pretty fun. But yeah, other than that, just want to thank you guys for watching, Alex, the whole EGG network for putting this up, as well for Team Flash for believing in me, and putting me or signing me up.
Great job, mate. Well done.
Naki Baslan, as you suggested, Alex, has pinched the fastest lap, so he's taken some kind of consolation. He had a second place in race 1, but all kinds of problems in race 2 for Nakib. A P15 finish plus fastest lap. But what a performance from a debutant, Mohammed Ibrahim from India. A P2 for him on this reverse grid race.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and talk to him later. I mean, Ibrahim was very impressive. I actually talked to him about a week ago. And he was struggling to set up his wheel and his pedals to the game. You know, he pretty much exclusively races on different games. But we know about his talent. We know how quick he is, how good he is. I'm glad he sorted out his pedals and his wheels. And yeah, great to get his first podium.
Okay, so we eventually sorted out the server, not as smooth as we'd like it to have been. We'll go through the analysis, we'll get some interviews, talk to Mohammed Ibrahim especially afterwards. Daniel will take us through the break and then through that post-race analysis.
Thank you very much, Des. That's right. We've got a lot coming for you right after the break. We've wrapped up round 1 here, but don't go away. We've got highlights and more interviews to come. But first, a quick break. We'll see you in a bit.
So a lot of you guys have asked, how do you get into sim racing? Well, first of all, you need to buy the game. And we have here on screen right now, this is the RaceRoom game. But you don't have to get this lovely, beautiful rig that we have here. You can actually start with just a keyboard and mouse. And we have a lot of drivers actually win in ERacing GP with just a keyboard and mouse. However, as you get better, you're going to drive against a higher quality level of driver. And then you need to start thinking about getting a seat, getting a steering wheels and pedals, because these are what the pros use, and it's really like the real thing. So here we are driving on the track, and you see this is a really good steering wheel. It's a RaceRoom simulator, in fact. There's a lot of vibration through the wheels. You can't maybe see it, but trust me, I can feel it through the wheel. And then you break it along straights. Now these sort of cars in real life are very hard to overtake it because the dirty air of the car in front really messes with your grip. But in this game, we can take out the dirty air, so it's like the old school Formula 1 cars where you can follow people closely. There is still a little bit of dirty air. I've talked to some of the drivers and they say they get too close. It actually affects the rear wing, so it can make it really, really oversteering. There is a little bit of that, but it's very much minimalized, so you can actually overtake, and it's a lot of fun to drive.
And there we have it, Alex. That's actually a question we get asked a lot, or at least I do personally. How do you get involved in sim racing? That's a question we get asked about real racing as well. Real racing, you start in go-karts. Sim racing, well, you've got a lot of things open to you. You've got RaceRoom as well, and it means that you guys watching this show as well can be involved in the E1 Championship too. And if you guys have any other questions about how to get started, please remember you can message us on our social media pages at the E1 Championship on Facebook or E1 Race on Twitter and Instagram. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Now, up next, let's speak to a couple of drivers who had a very interesting race too, the 30-minute longer endurance race here at round 1. We've been racing in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Let's speak to Mohammed Ibrahim. He finished in second in his debut for the E1 Championship in Season 1.
All right, let's see if he's ready. Okay, so Ibrahim, great job. I mean, 5th in race 1, 2nd in race 2. Talk us through your day.
I mean, it's been an absolutely unexpected day for me because I had really a small amount of preparation and I was so excited to be part of this championship. But unfortunately, I didn't get much time to prep, so I was really not expecting this result.
So you were saying to me earlier on that I had some issues with the wheel and the pedals. So is those fixed now?
No, actually, I've still been running with almost no force feedback, so I can't feel much through the wheel, so it's really difficult to drive.
So if you could fix that for round 2, you'll be even quicker.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully.
Well done anyway. Great job today. Yeah, really good job. There he is. There he is in screen. You must make you feel a bit more confident about the rest of the championship, though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this round really helps me a lot because, I learned a lot from all my teammates, and just getting a first round experience, makes a big difference, Hopefully for next round, it goes even better.
Okay. Well done. Thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to thank Alex, everyone in E1, Daniel Woodruff, and whoever's doing the commentating, the organization, and everybody, just big thank you to you guys.
Well done.
I've never had thanks before on the show. That's great. I think I have a new favorite driver.
Yeah.
All right, let's speak to one more driver before we get to the highlights. Let's speak to Nabil Aslan. Now, we've mentioned a couple times in the race, he's the younger brother of Naqib Aslan, who was the first championship winner of the E1 Championship. There he is up on screen. Nabil, hello. How was that race through for us? That was a very impressive performance. Podium finish in your first round of the E1 Championship. That puts you in pretty good stead for the rest of the season. But tell us about your race too.
It was pretty simple, really. Just had to manage my tires and find the right opportunity to overtake the other people.
We saw quite a few different tire strategies there, and I think the drivers can get away with that because we have so many on the grid. But what tire strategy did you go for?
I think we opted to do the hard tires, and then around the 17th lap we pitted for the soft, so that we could push ahead at the last stint.
We saw quite a few penalties going around. Did you get much damage there?
No, nothing much. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well done, Nabil. You'll be back for race 2?
Yeah, if I can try to qualify for the leaderboard.
Yeah. Okay. Outstanding job, my man.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Another young talent there in the E1 Championship. Now, Alex, let's talk a little bit about that race too. I think there's quite a lot going on. I think one driver I do want to just focus on a little bit is Kalen Chin. And a phrase you hear on the racetrack a lot is to finish first, first you must finish. So tell us a little bit about what his race was like, because he had the pace to win.
Wow, I mean, so Kalen was what? I think he was like outside the top 5 over the first few laps. And then you saw him come through. He overtook Alif, he overtook Inigo Anton, and he pulled away from them. And I thought, whoa, Kalen's got some, where's this pace coming from? This is race-winning pace. And then he came across the guys in front of him. Who was it? He was trying to overtake Nabil.
It was Nabil. It was
and,
Nabil.
I mean, you give coach drivers, I mean, he just did all the wrong decisions, didn't he? Try to, way too close to the car into turn 1. So you're hitting him on the way out, and then you lose it on the way back. And then you dive down the inside of turn 1, then following that, messes up your exit, of course, and then you have to race into turn 2, and then there's more banging of wheels, and then he picks up a puncture. As a driver coach, it's infuriating, isn't it? Because
no comment.
I mean, he's such a good driver. And I don't know, maybe he just got a little bit excited because he had a chance to win. And, we know how competitive he is, right? So I think this is going to make him come back even stronger. And he'll get that his first race 2 win, hopefully.
Well, he was a driver we saw in the last season that really progressed throughout the different rounds. So I'm sure we're going to see the same this season as well. Up next, let's take a look at the race 2 highlights because there's a lot to talk about.
Okay, so here, look at the starts here. Joaquin Garrido had a great start, and he looked pretty comfortable at the front, led for the first couple laps. But in the end, some of the others were starting to overtake. Here we got the, this is later, this is mid-race, we got the JMX Phantom cars just swallow him up. This is those instances we were talking about with Kalen trying to overtake Nabil. He looked in really good shape. I actually thought he was going to win the race, but unfortunately that puncher, put him out of the race and out of the wrecking. And then this is Mohammed Ibrahim then overtaking Nabil for second position. Out of shot, of course, though, it was Muhammad Alif from Singapore in Team Flash. And that's 2 wins out of 2 for him now. And he is our championship leader.
And out of the 28 drivers, let's take a look at our top 10 from race 2. It's once again Muhammad Alif Hamilton up at the top step of that podium, bagging another 25 points. He's really going to be smiling walking away from this first round. Mohammed Ibrahim, another Stratos car in the top 3 in 2 races. He's going to be very happy with his performance. And Mohammed Nabil bin Aslan, the younger brother of Nakib Aslan, in the top 3. Further down, we got Miko Nasi, Inigo Anton in 6th, and Yaktin, our Hong Kong driver, wrapping up the top 10. Next, let's take a look at the overall results of round 1. This is, of course, combining the points accumulated from qualifying, race 1 and race 2. We can see there a substantial lead by Alif Hamilton. I mean, that's 20 plus points. That's an entire race win in the lead, and that's really going to give him that booster of confidence going into the next race in Hockenheim.
Yeah, look at that. This was a Flash, Team Flash, Stratos Motorsport, Team Flash, Stratos Motorsport. And then, of course, Nabil there in 5th position. Ayman Hakim there in 6th position, RSG. He had a difficult weekend. Miko Nasi in P7. Isn't he always giving us great excitement there?
Yes,
and then Inigo Anton from Philippines in 9th. Kalen Chin, glad to see him with still there in the points. Managed to recover and get some points in the end. Troy Ayman, Scuderia Stratos in 10th.
Alex, I'm going to ask, who is your standout driver of tonight?
Oh, you have to say Alif, right? He kept himself, but I've seen him race so many times, and this is what he does very well. He is always, quick, obviously, but there are a lot of quick drivers there. There's 6 of them, probably I would say as quick as Alif, but Alif always maximizes his opportunities. Even if he's in traffic, you can see him in the middle of the race. He held back. All right, I lost a place. Kalen got by. No worries. I'm not going to panic. He doesn't panic. And I think that's probably his greatest attribute. And he's come away with 2 race wins.
We saw Miko Nasi as well make a couple appearances at the front, just like we thought he would. But what do you think Miko was lacking tonight that just didn't allow him to put it together in the end?
I think just practice. Miko really did have an issue with the PC. So he missed 4 days of practice last week. And it's just like any other sport. If you don't practice, you don't train, you're not going to be at the top of your game. And that's what happened to Mikko Nasi. So he'll be strong again from round 2. I think he'll be back all guns blazing, provided his piece is properly fixed now. Let's not forget Nakib. Nakib would have been a factor today. He would have been a factor for the race win if he hadn't lost his front wing early on. Ayman Hakim also had some issues as well. So those drivers will be back stronger than ever for round 2.
Well, practice is the beauty of e-racing. It allows the drivers to have as much track time as they want because they can drive until they are exhausted. And drivers, after tonight, will begin practicing immediately for the next race that we have, and that is in Hockenheim in Germany, another track that many of you may be familiar with if you do watch the Formula One. Let's go and take a look and have a little sneak peek at that track.
This is next weekend. On Wednesday, we'll be at Hockenheim, round 2. Very similar to Red Bull in the fact that it's got long straights. It has a lot of tradition, but it's been changed over the years. It's a very modern track now, but it has got a bit of character. The last sector is still the old school stadium section, which is nice. But the first 2 sectors, long straights, quick corners, and we should see a DRS train as well here. We will obviously fix the issues we had with the server for round 2, and we'll be back better and bigger and stronger.
Well, as you mentioned, the track is very similar in its layout to Red Bull Ring, which we just raced in tonight. A lot of these right-angled corners, so drivers really have to brake late, but carry that speed in the middle of the corner, really make sure they get on the throttle early to ensure that they maximize every part of the track. So based on tonight's performance, and I know it was a little bit all over the place because we saw a lot of different tire strategies, which teams or which drivers in particular do you feel will bounce back stronger next week?
Well, I mean, the usual suspects, like we said, Alif will be there, Nakib, Mikko, Ayman. Ibrahim's a nice surprise. Ibrahim will be racing at the front as well. But of course, JMX Phantom, they had a tough race as well. They'll be stronger. And the Hong Kong team was very good as well. Zed, Challenger, Jack Ting and Jay, they did a really good job. A lot of drivers and teams feeling their way for the first race, and they would have learnt a lot from round 1, and they'll be stronger in round 2.
Well, the drivers and the teams are here to fight for the championship. Let's take a quick look at the championship standings so far after the 2 races tonight. There we've got Muhammad Ali looking very cool, just like Lewis Hamilton, up in first place. Look at that point lead ahead of Mohammed Ibrahim in the Stratos Motorsports car. And then Alif Hamilton's younger brother. It is a family affair. And the top 5, we've got Muhammad Alif and his younger brother in the top 3. We've got Nakib Aslan and his younger brother Nabil Aslan in 4th and 5th. This is going to be very, very interesting. I'm sure they're going to understand their strengths and weaknesses. Now let's take a look at our team standings, and that's Flash Motorsports up at the front with 83 points. Stratos Motorsports in 2nd. Team RSG, that was a team that we saw with a lot of consistent point finishes throughout the last season, so I'm sure they're going to be continuing that as we go into the next races. Team ERGP in 4th, and Safe House with the Calm Cool Collected Fin, Mikko Nasi in 5th place. All right, well, it's becoming an exciting title fight. We don't really know which drivers to look out for going into the next races, but next week we will be in Hockenheim in Germany. Don't forget, you can catch us on the EGG network every Wednesday from 9 p.m. Thank you very much to Alex and Des in the commentary box for all your help. And don't forget to catch us next week. We'll see you then. Take care and good night.
Good night.